And welcome back once again to the Basil Breen Boombox, backed by popular demand. It's actually been, I think the last podcast I did was in June, and we are back with the Crumbling Crusader once again, 10 months later. It's been 10 months since we last did this podcast, and I think the last one went really well. So I guess a good place maybe to start is, how have the last 10 months been for you, lad?
Insanity. Absolute insanity.
Take us back to whatever month it was when we started. Take
us back. Yeah.
No, go ahead, man. How's it been?
Beautiful and poxy. You know what I mean? We've been sleep deprived. I'm overworked. I'm fucking, it's been beautiful. Process has been beautiful, man. Like, I'm balancing a full-time job, music and life, like, do you know what I mean? But it has been, like, crazy as well, because, I'm going to, like, gigs, 2 days sleep deprived, and then fucking, like, I have to write, like, do you know what I mean? And they're just,
That's tough, man.
Yeah. I like it, though, you know what I mean? I kind of like it, because there's a lot to learn from it.
Yeah.
I started caring about myself a lot more through this process and neglecting myself as well. It's hard to explain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like, I get up at 5 every day. I keep saying this to people. But I get up at 5 in the morning every day, man. And I have to. Or I'm late to work. And then I could be going to sleep at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, man.
Because that's just how I am. I'm a night person.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't. You
don't operate in the day.
Yeah, I'm a miserable fucker.
You're in the shadows.
I'm like backwards, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, I do like the morning and stuff, but ever since I started working, I've just been fucking like on autopilot constantly. Like, do you know what I mean? Because when I was I'll be honest, when I was on the scratcher, like, I loved being on the scratcher because of this freedom. Like, do you know what I mean? There was no, like, I wasn't limiting myself so much. I like to write during the night, man.
Interesting.
I don't like writing during the daytime. I'm fucking miserable. I love looking out somewhere, pitch black sky, street lights on. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I just like writing during the night time.
I've heard a few writers talk about this a little bit, and one thing might be is the fact that there's nothing else to be doing at that hour.
Exactly.
Like, no one's annoying you in a way. Yeah. Like, that's the space. Like, there's nothing really else going on, and that kind of gives sort of a clarity. Like, some people will wake up real early in the morning to write as well, I've heard.
Yeah, see, I've had to do that now, and like, I know to some people it's not a big deal. To me it is, because for years, like, do you know what I mean, when I wasn't working, I'd start writing at like 12:30, finish at 6 the next morning. Sometimes I start at 4:30 in the morning, finish up at 9. But that's like me most creative hours, like, do you know what I mean? So the fact that I really had to change everything when I started working.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because, I can't fucking stay up till 5 in the morning writing and go to work. I'll be in work just like fucking eyeballs hanging out in my head.
How like, I mean, you're still, 25, 26?
25.
25 still. So, I mean, you can burn the candle a little bit for a little bit longer maybe, but do you feel that, I mean, for me, if I don't get a good night's sleep for multiple days in a row, I just start feeling terrible about life, and my productivity goes down, everything goes down.
Yeah, I'm going to tell the truth, like, my mental health has declined rapidly over the last year, because I've been going to work for the last 11 months, operating off of 4, 3, 5 hours sleep. The most sleep I ever get is 6 hours. I got like me first, during a weekday, I got me first 8 hours sleep, I'd say, in about 8 months. The other day, I got me first 8 hours sleep in about fucking 9 months during a weekday, because I shut down. Like, you know what I mean? It's my fault, but like, I thought, like you said, I have to focus on the music, man. Do you know what I mean? And it just, because I felt like I've sacrificed so much of it to work and to fucking other things that I shouldn't even be worried about. I was shitting myself, like, do you know what I mean? That's what I do, because me and Florida only finished recording the album on, I think, the 26th of September.
Oh my goodness.
Well, finished recording Hell's Messenger on the
Yes.
26th of September.
Wow.
That's why like we were, and that was my fault, because when I was, like I said, I'm trying to balance music and work, and then I'm coming home, I'm fucking awake for 19 hours, and then I'm like on the phone listening to beats, like trying not to fall asleep, and I'm trying to write songs and trying to, and see, me, man, when I write music, I go into the deepest parts of myself to write something, because like I don't mind writing the odd little, tune that's no concept, no, but this is the album, you know what I mean?
Of course.
I couldn't just push out something that's just like, oh yeah, here you go, just fucking
Go to the depths, to the well.
I had to, man. So like when you're doing that, when you're fucking sleep deprived, hungry, you're broke, you're stressed the fuck out,
and digging into your psyche then
at
night.
It drives you
a full
mad,
investigation.
Man. It drives you fucking mad. But you know what? The process, I know this sounds crazy, it was kind of beautiful. Because it showed, and I proved to myself I could do it.
Yes, of course.
Do you know what I mean? Because I was really stressed, man. I honestly thought this wasn't going to come out. Because what happened was I went down to
So we're talking about Hell's Messenger, which is coming out on the 30th of October. Hopefully this will be out. We will be getting more into that, but please continue on.
My debut project, yeah. So I was fucking I went down to Floorbit. Floorbit, by the way, is the engineer that I work with.
I want to get all into Floorbit in a bit as well.
Amazing young man. He saved the project. He did save it. Like, but when I started recording with Floorbit, the first tune we did was Roll With The Old I Got Too, which is the single.
Yes.
And I was kind of like, right, cool. And that was the first time I recorded in a very long time. See, recording to me is like heroin, man. I get withdrawals. Like, if I don't record, it's like nicotine, man. If we don't record over a certain period of time, I get mad emotional.
Sorry, I just want to double, quadruple check that. Just because you're saying the word record a lot, that we are recording. And that's the fact. Yes, everything is fine. That was just the amount of times you said record. I had to double check.
Fucking Siri on your phone.
Yeah.
That's the whole podcast. Like,
no, we're fine, please. But yeah, you're addicted to the recording process.
Yeah, man. So it felt amazing to record with Floorbit, right? And I was like, I kind of had everything mostly written. And so I'm a bollocks for this, right? So I was like recording a few tunes of Floorbit at the time. I'd say this is February of this year and March and then early April. And I was really unhappy with everything I was recording, which broke my fucking heart.
No.
I was listening and I was like, no. I was like, this is shite. This is dirt. And I knew I wasn't putting myself down. I just knew everything could be fucking 20 times better. So I literally text Floorbit with saying around April. I was like, look, man, here's the sus. I was like, I'm coming up to you every Sunday and I'm half recording tunes and the tunes they're all over the fucking place. And, I was like, I'm not getting that done. I don't want to waste your time. I was like, just give me a while. I'll come back. I need to sort this out. Right? Wow. So that's what I'm saying, man. So from April to fucking, from January to fucking whatever, I've just been literally, man, writing and fucking writing and challenging myself and fucking staying up to all hours or just sleeping too much and in work getting in trouble because I'm on my phone half the day. Oh, that's fucking, I write it down. And then cunts are like, what are you doing, man? You know what I mean? Is it fucking, how much work have you done today? And I'm like, guys, you fucking, do you know what I mean? Like, so.
Yes, of course. So just on the writing then, you organise in terms of what app do you use on your phone for recording these ideas, or is it just notes?
No, I write down lyrics just on the notes, yeah.
Oh, just on the notes
app?
Yeah,
like I'll, just literally write down lyrics, man, you know what I mean? I think of a concept, because see, like I said in the last podcast, in this one I'm trying to get into songwriting. Now, I'm not going to lie on Hell's Messenger, it's mostly lyricism.
Yeah.
Mostly, but there's concepts.
Yes.
I never wrote concepts before. I just tried to write as many bars as I could. So that was real challenging, man. Do you know what I mean? So I think of it. And then I start writing ideas down in my A4 pad. Like ideas of songs. Right, this is what I'm going to talk about. And that helped so much.
Yes. just having
helped.
some basic like talking points or themes or
Yeah,
just what is
stencil.
this song about, and then that knowing them constraints, sort of that's the lens that you're looking at the writing at then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
So that really helped, like, you know what I mean? But we got the album done 26. We recorded All Hell's Messenger on one day, 7 hours.
Oh,
Went
wow.
up, had the whole thing written. It was like, right, let's get this fucking done, bro. Floated up to his gaff. Got it done in about 6.5, 7 hours.
Holy
26th of September. Proper hard work, like, do you know what I mean? Because we had to, man, because
shit. Yeah, you put the date out.
yeah, so we was like, right, I have to do this. I have to commit to this. Like, do you know what I
So
mean?
back in April, when you were listening back to the recording, was it you were just thinking, was it the actual quality of the recording,
No,
how your
no,
flow, the
Flawbit
lyrics?
was doing a great job.
No, what I mean is your performance.
Yeah, my performance.
Yes.
Yeah, and just some of the, like, the beats I was using and the way I was rapping, like, I just wasn't happy because I knew I could put more into it. Like, you know what I mean? You've seen me perform live before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like to go all out when I perform
Yes.
live. I like to jump off the stage
Tops
on the
off.
verge of an asthma attack. I don't
Yeah.
even have asthma, like, but I like to jump off the stage,
Yeah.
sweating on the verge of an asthma attack and fucked up because I love putting me all into
Give
this.
everything.
It takes me out of this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's literally like traveling to another realm.
Oh,
I'm like,
100%.
I want to do that when I'm recording, though. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I did. So, you know.
Oh, I get it, because I guess you were recording half songs every Sunday. It was hard for you to get in that flow. But if you're doing a 7-hour stint of like recording and everything, that's like you're in that realm for that long in a way.
Exactly.
So you're kind of living in that realm. And then therefore, whatever takes place in there is going to be more true to what you wanted, perhaps.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. And it's just, like you said about the performance, I don't want to just half-arse it, which I was doing at the time. I had to say that to me. I had to admit that to myself, man. This is my debut project. I don't want to just slap this out, man. I'm not lying, man. I really did put my heart and soul into this, do you know what I mean? I fucking talk about things I've never even talked about, like, do you know what I mean? Like, Humble Beginnings 3 is 10 minutes long, man.
Oh my goodness.
It's 10 minutes long of just pure, brutal honesty that we've never even said to myself before. It was just pure, brutally honest. Like, and the reason that is because the reason the whole thing is called Hell's Messenger, as I said to you before. This was going to be a concept album. Then it was just going to be a normal hip hop album. Then it was going to be an EP. And then it was going to be an LP. And then it was just, I've been working on this for 5 years, man.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And then I had to take those constraints off, man, to actually make the project. Creativity is such a fucked up thing, especially for me, man, because I'm like a mad scientist.
Yeah.
When it comes to creativity, I'm constantly driving myself nuts. How can I change the flow here? You know what I mean? What can I do with this chorus? How will I enunciate that or pronounce that?
Yes.
What will I do? Will I change up the way I say that in the 16th bar? I'm not happy with the time length of the song.
Interesting.
I mean, constantly.
There's so many different
24/7.
layers.
24/7, constantly, because I love it. So, like,
Yeah, because with your style as well, it like let's say flow is an overarching term, but that comes into how you enunciate, like how many syllables are per bar, all this sort of stuff. Like, will I change it up on the like all? There's just so many characteristics of how you're using your voice in the performance, to sort of speak the words, I guess. And just in terms of the lyrics, though, how often what was the last change that you made? Like, how recent was it in terms of lyrics? Like, how solid have the lyrics been?
Honestly, last Sunday I had to re-record Humble Beginnings 3, and I actually did change like a couple. The reason though actually wasn't because of me, was because I purchased my beats off producers that upload that shit on YouTube.
Yeah.
And basically, like, I don't purchase a beat unless I'm 1000% happy with the song. But that's a risky move, man. 'Cause someone else on the internet can just buy that, and that beat's gone.
Yeah.
It's not yours. Fuck you. Find another one. Like, that's just the way it is, right? Secondly, if you're not buying the beat, you have to download an MP3 of it. So when you're recording over an MP3, the quality's like, you know. So then once you get the WAV of the beat. You have to slap it in, and then it's right. So long story short, I went to get the Humble Beginners 3 is 2 beats. Like it's, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So
10
the
minutes.
first beat, yeah. So the first beat was amazing. Loved it. Recorded it in floor bits. It was great. I was happy with it. Beautiful, right? And I went to purchase it, and this dickhead was like fucking, you know. I went to purchase it and the link wasn't working to purchase the beat. So I emailed this fella. I was like, yeah, how you doing, pal? I want to purchase this beat off you. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Link's not working. You know, has someone purchased it or is it available? And he goes, oh, so here's how much my beats cost, 35 quid. And so I emailed him back again a day later being like, yeah, cool. I know how much it costs, but is it available to buy?
Because I need it now.
Yeah, because I need it now. And he goes, yes, you can check the prices on the yoke. And I said,
what's going on?
Hello.
It's like you're dealing with an autoresponder.
McFly. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Come on, like, I know how much it fucking cost. I've an fucking album coming out now in fucking 2 or 3 weeks. Let me buy the fucking beat, like, you know. And then he just emailed me back. He was like, I told you it was available. It was not, you know what, fuck you, dickhead. Got another beat. I had to run straight down to the studio in Dolphins Bar and basically, you know, re-record it because like this was literally last Sunday, man. The deadline was 19th of October, which was 2 days ago.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was me and Flaw, but like we have to get this fucking mixed and mastered. So that was, and then anyway, while I was flying down to the morning I flew down to the studio, I wrote the outro of the song.
Oh well.
It's like a poem. It doesn't rhyme or anything. It was like spoken word.
Yes.
And they changed a couple of the lyrics, and maybe it was a blessing in disguise that I had to go and re-record it because now
you have it done it. Yeah,
it's perfect to me now. Like it can actually be.
It's one of them happy accidents, man. Like it's weird how it throughout the creative process or the bringing the art to fruition, the kind of the twists and turns along the way actually end up creating it. Like you had, because you can only ever go out with an idea. Like when you first sat down, I'm gonna do this. Like you didn't know that you were gonna hate the current process of we're only doing Sundays and I don't feel like I'm getting the right performance. But then that leads you down another path, and then you don't know what's gonna happen with the beat. Like you don't actually. All you can do really is say I'm gonna do this album, but along the way you can't really foresee the twists and turns, but that's actually what helps kind of create the art and creates the story behind it, and it's just amazing. When you think about it like that, it's about stepping forward and saying that I'm gonna do this thing, and then what happens in between, that's the lore in a way, and that's kind of that's the story of it.
It's the journey, man. Like I was I have to say, like I have to, like, Anne, fucking man, if it wasn't for Anne now, I'd be in a psych ward somewhere. Fucking, you know, in a padded room going fucking nuts, man. If it wasn't for Anne, you know, she kept me steady because, like I said to you, not to keep repeating myself, process can be messy, man. The journey can be messy. Like, and see, like, I feel like a fucking fool because I'm like looking at these amazing rappers on Instagram and they're like releasing projects like it's nothing. And like it's consistent. The quality is there. The lyricism is top notch. Songwriting is impeccable. Production is phenomenal. And I'm here, fucking 6 songs a year later, and like, you know, I'm feeling like a dickhead. That's one thing. Looking at all of these artists, these rappers, like every fucking 2 months. Here's an EP. Here you go. Here, boom, single, and I'm just like, what? Like, what's wrong with me? Like, what the fuck? Like, do you know what I mean? How's he doing this? Like, do you know what I mean? What? Is there something wrong with me? And I'm going nuts. And just like personal life, you know, like I'll keep it 100. Like, you know, a lot of stuff is happening in the background and it's doing me fucking nut in because I'm like, man, I need to write. And then I'm getting texts, this is happening. I'm like, okay, we're killed, no problem. I'm here. And then, oh man, if it wasn't for Anne though, because Anne's here, she's keeping me level-headed, reassuring me all the time.
Yes.
It's okay, we're gonna get through this, and then motivating me constantly, and you know, just, you know, telling me that man, I can't describe
Of
in
course.
words how grateful I am that Anne, like, she really fucking did. Like, she was there for me, and like, she went out her way. Like, Anne's busy, man.
Yeah.
Anne's doing amazing
Oh,
things
yeah.
right now. Doing amazing things right now. She has a video coming out soon as well.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's gonna be fucking incredible. She's putting
Brilliant.
that life into that fucking video. I love it. Like, do you know what I mean? But it's just, man, if it wasn't for me woman, man, I'd be gone insane.
Yeah.
Like, and the boys, man. The boys were keeping me level headed as well. Like, do you know what I mean? Sticky Rhino, you know, Savage, Jimmy, shout out Curtis, you know what I mean? Who else, man? Fucking, oh man, loads
Dalys,
of
the
people.
students who were on the
Just
thing, I guess.
everybody,
yeah.
man, just was keeping me like, you know, right, look, you have this. You have this, you know what I mean? But man,
But yeah, I just wanted, because we, after the last podcast, it was funny because we both went outside and we go, we didn't mention Anne!
yeah, we never
How
gave
did we
on the shout out, man.
And we actually felt so bad. I'm not even messing.
Even it's me woman.
I
Like, do you
know,
what I mean?
but it was up to me. Look, because we have a beautiful her poem over there. Actually, she's just here with us now in spirit. But just in terms of have the two of you just having each other's back. I mean, I love seeing you just out on the scene. It's just great. It's very heartwarming, and because you have that. I relate to you in a way that the only way I can describe it is that there's like a working class humor. There's in yous that I get in a way, like, and there's a spirit of that, like the council estate spirit or something.
Yeah,
that,
it's just the jokes. It's the the humor. It's I mean, I think it's just the environment we all grew up in.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Working class area, like, you know, you're kind of, everyone's going through something.
yes,
But everyone's positive and everyone's laughing and smiling majority of the time. Like, I love one thing I love when I'm in Crumlin, is like just, you know, I fly down to this shop called the A-Team in Crumlin. It's there like fucking 700,000 years, right? And but, like, it's a relic. It's a part of Crumlin, right?
Yeah.
But I love is, man, it's just like seeing, like, you know, the L ones, you know, smiling sometimes and laughing, like, and just like people conversating with each other and all, do you know what I mean? And just, that's the thing, man. Like, life's too short.
100%.
Life is too short to be fucking pissed off all the time. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, man. Dublin fucked up at the minute. Government, I understand. And it is, man. It's fucking dirt. You know what I mean? It's all that dirt. You're on Instagram all the time. Mary Lou McDonald screaming at some fella. You're fucking this country up. You look at the news, everything, man. People, you know, and then people are getting mad negative and upset.
Yeah.
Now, you understand. They have a right to be, but life is too short to constantly be fucking like that.
Yes.
Man. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. That's one thing, man. Like, you know, in Crumlin anyway, from my experience, you know, man, everyone's going through something. Especially like in working class areas in Dublin, everywhere, everyone's going through something. Hard working men, hard working women, feeding their kids and their families. Do you know what I mean? Trying to make sure that kids are going on the right path in school, breaking their bollocks and work every day. And then, like, you know, it's the common struggle, but you see them still smiling and laughing. Neighbours, do you know what I mean? In Tesco, like, cracking a few
Still
fucking
able
jokes.
to rise above it.
That's priceless.
Yeah.
And I think me and Anne just share that naturally, like, you know what I mean? Just, I wouldn't necessarily describe what me and Anne share as kind of working class, but more of just like, we're in this together.
Yes.
We're going down this journey together. Let's make the most of it.
So beautiful.
It is, man, because like I said, life is just too fucking short to be caught up in this mad shit all the time.
It's so like, I have a more of a sense now than ever of how short really life is, and how sort of precious it is, and how we spend our time, and how little time we have with the people that we love. Like, you lived a certain number of years, then you met Anne, and now you'll get as many years as you get with her. You know what I mean? And that's it, in a way.
That's why you can't squander that, man. You
can't squander it, and we do squander it. Not because like we don't. It's hard for us to think day in, day out. But all we have is a bag of days, and we're throwing one away, and we don't know how many's in the bag. I heard this really good way of describing it. It's so imagine there's an hourglass, right? And you're seeing sand drop.
Yeah, man.
But there's you can't see the top of the hourglass. There's a blanket covering it. So you're just seeing sand drop. You don't know how much is left, but you know that it's dropping. You know what I mean?
Life, like, us as human beings, man, we take life for granted way too much every single day. We take, and every single person is guilty of it. I think it is somewhat of a natural thing to do so because everyday life, you know what I mean?
Of course.
Everyone has something on that place. So, but we were very guilty of taking life for granted, man. And I'm always telling people all the time, man, cherish your fucking loved ones, man. Your partner, if you have kids, your siblings, you know what I mean? Your Elmo, your outfit, like, you know what I mean? Don't take that shit for fucking granted, man. I always said it on the last podcast, and I'm always giving out the cunts for the, sorry for me language, always giving out the people for the, don't take life for granted, man. Do you know what I mean? I see people do that shit all the fucking time, like, but so blatantly as to where they don't understand the blessings they have, man. Or they, like, they're very, not, I wouldn't say, like, necessarily, they're not intentionally being ungrateful.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, man, life is precious, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
There's people that have gone through, like, horrendous things in their lives, and obviously it's hard to think and be grateful for what, like, imagine if something happened in my past that was horrendous, like if I was in the concentration camps, it would be harder for me to think, like, what is life? Is this a blessing? But you can't, like, as long as you're kind of alive, I think that is enough reason to feel that it is a blessing, because there's people that would kill. Like, there's always someone that would kill to be in your shoes.
Yeah.
Like, that would literally give anything to be in your shoes because they're in a terrible situation. Or there's going to be a time in your life when you're going through something really bad and you'd be like, God, I wish I was just on that fucking bus listening to tunes, going to work, because right now is hell. And there'll be moments in our lives where we would have been so grateful for the mundane bullshit. You know what I mean? And but to live is to suffer in a way, and like, humans, we've all suffered, like, for eons. It's part of our human nature, and then we get sort of cynical when we look at the news and we look out and we say, look how bad the world is, fuck the world, it's all shite anyway. But there's something when you kind of have that realization. There's a really good quote. It's like, everyone has two lives, and the first one begins when when you realize you only have one. And it's like, I don't think people, it's taken me years to get to the feeling that I have now in relation to death and mortality, and there's still levels to go to it. So I'm not saying that, like, you don't understand, because I understand more and more the more I think about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And right now I just think, God, we're lucky, man, to be alive.
Very, like, honest to God, man, like, it took me a long time to learn how to genuinely be grateful, right? Because I think the reason, like, 18 to 22 were the most challenging parts of my life so far. I'm young, like, still young, but I'm a lot wiser than I was then. And I do, like, we'll talk about the past on the way up. Like, I'm so grateful now for all of that mad shit I went through, because through that, like, I learned, I'm grateful because now I can look back and see the bigger picture. I can prevent that shit from happening now. I have since kind of gained this big, strong sense of morality and integrity. I have beliefs and I stand on them firmly, and that's the thing I care about a lot, is being a stand-up person and trying to better myself every day. Like, for example, I try my very best to practice kindness every day, man. Even towards people I might not necessarily be fond of, try my best to practice kindness. That's a very important thing. I try to be respectful every day, and more, I try to be well-mannered every day.
Yes.
And more. And, I think that's very important, man, because, like, I heard a great quote there recently is, this bloke said he's trying to be better than the person he looked up to, which was his father. And it's my dad's birthday today, actually.
Oh, shout out.
And and he's in work now as we speak. Like, but that's the thing. Like, see him, he's 64 years old today, right? he's still breaking his fucking bollocks every single day.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Not fucking bother to him. And like he doesn't once come. This is I was actually talking about. I have a song on Heaven's Servant called "Cracked Pillars" because my dad's the pillar of our family. He holds us up, and the pillar he represents is covered in cracks now because he's been holding us up for so long.
Yeah.
And you know what family's like.
Of
man.
course.
Sibling rivalry. You know,
Everything,
family
man.
is family. I don't even need to get into that.
History just catches up with us.
Everyone understands what I'm saying when I say family is family. Like, you know what I mean? They do, man. You might have you know, some person listening to this might fucking hate that sister, man. You know what I mean? No, not hate, but
no, but to them they do in a way.
You know.
Like there's people like certain like in my dad's family there was a really bad sort of blood generated when his dad died and the house was being sold. And all the money really messed. I don't want to get too into it, but basically that whole situation. I think money and greed like corrupt people to such a way and break things apart. Like if I was ever getting any inheritance or in any way, I don't think I'm gonna be anyway. But I'd be just like I don't want to have any bad blood. So if like I'd rather get nothing than have to get into the weeds of fighting for things or any of that, man.
I think that's the thing. Like, that's heartbreaking. Like, I've heard stories of people's mothers passing away, and then they're at the fucking funeral, like developing resentment for one another. Yeah. Like your mother has just unfortunately passed away, and you're more concerned with who's getting a shirt on fucking this, who's getting what out the gaff. That's not humane, man.
No.
I don't care how old I am, and God forbid, when my folks happen to travel to some other plane of existence, it's gonna kill me inside.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what's important. Like
that is to remember what they've done, the time you had, and you know what I mean? Because like that's the thing, man. It's mad, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm only starting to like now that I'm 25, right, and I work now, and I have big responsibilities to look after. And to go straight, like, you know what I mean? Not just I have responsibilities now, man. I can't go to Pierce Park and have cans with the boys anymore.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I can't be fucking, you know.
Just can't be squandering your time.
Yeah, I can't, man. I have responsibilities. I have a dream. I have aspirations I need to accomplish, and I have to survive.
Yeah.
So, like, I look at me dad. This is what I was saying. Like, you know, he has done. He never once complained. Like, you know, he's never like I said, he's 64 today. Breaks his fucking bollocks like 6 days a week. 6 days, doesn't complain.
Wow.
Just gets on with it. Like. So then that kind of taught me. Like I fucking complain about things quite a lot, but it's not to be taken seriously. I'm not like, you know yourself, man. You know. Fucking
the bus or whatever.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Fucking bus is 10 minutes late today. Fuck's it, you know.
Little things.
Yeah, minuscule things, you know. But like I always think of me dad every day when I'm in work and stuff, and like I'm kind of like always remembering how he held my family up and still continues to do so at 64 and doesn't complain. Like that, like that's. I don't know. That's unbelievable. That's priceless to me. Like, you know what I mean?
You get to see that.
What I was going to say there earlier was that I heard this quote was like, "I'm just trying to be better than the man who taught me," which is my father, and that's what I'm trying to do because, like, I'm really grateful for my dad, man, because you've like I can't even express in words how grateful I am, but like getting older now, you know, it's the little things that are important. Like I said, being respectful. You know, having integrity, standing on your beliefs, the difference between right and wrong, and being an upstanding man. Do you know what I mean? That is very important. Like, do you know what I mean? Because you never know, like, who could learn from that.
100%.
You know, like I mean, it's just unbelievable, man. I'm so grateful that, like, looking at my outfit, like, and just seeing how respectful he always was, like, you know, and just seeing how well mannered he always was, and just always. You know, never doing, he never, like, you know, how do I put it? Never done anything, like, ridiculous or squandered anything. He always always prioritized us.
Mm.
He could be on his fucking last legs and you do that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he just taught me so much. Like, and like I was saying, when I was 18 to 22, like, I always took the way he raised me for granted. And I was too focused on all of the fucked up shit that was happening around me rather than realising I have a family
Yes.
I could be around right now rather than, you know, doing some stupid fucking shit, like, you know, so.
Well, it does take years to realise that gratitude in a way for your family, especially your parents. I think what happens with parents and as children, it must be heartbreaking for parents, I think, because they see you as a little baby and then they show you magic and Christmas. Then you go to be a teenager and then they just see you going fuck off, like blah blah.
Yeah, literally, man.
And then it must be so fucking hard. But then there's the return in a way when we realise. I remember my dad used to say, and unfortunately for me, I didn't get to resolve my relationship with my dad as much as I wish I could have. Like, so shout out to everyone else. Like, please make the most of your time with your parents.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he used to say, one day you'll know what I meant, or you'll think he wasn't that fucking full of shit. And I know, and now I'm just like, no! And I know now! Like, I know now! And, but that's the thing. At least, hopefully, there is that arc for you then. When you come back, you realise how much your dad sort of had an impact and hence continues to sort of be a shining light and somebody that you can look up to and somebody you want to be. And I think a big problem, with sort of antisocial behaviour in young people, like just these studies now are coming out now, like single parent families, like where it's just a mother, because they don't have sort of that male figure in their life to kind of say no, basically, like to be that authority.
I talk about this a lot on Hell's Messenger. I do actually mention it quite a few times on the tracks on Hell's Messenger because, like, I said this on the last podcast, I think I could be wrong. I'm the lucky one in my friend group. I had the whole picture. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
My family were intact. But I was hanging around with young fellas and still until this day who parents could be split up. No father in the picture. You know, no mother in the picture.
Yeah.
And they're then expected to be a man at 12 years of fucking age.
Yes.
Be a man. You know, that innocence is literally taken away from them. It's like, no. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're literally here, thinking of how to survive at 12 years old. That's why I'm the lucky one, man. So that we talk about that a lot, man, because I can't stop fucking belching.
I agree.
I talk about that a lot on Hell's Messenger. On the second track, Crumlin's Prayer, I talk about it especially because, like, you know, one thing that breaks my heart is, man, like, I see on social media, like, videos of young fellas doing some fucking mad shit, and I did fucking mad shit as a young fella. We were doing horrendous stuff as kids, like horrendous stuff, do you know what I mean? And then you're going home, you know, you're anxious then, you feel guilty, and you're trying to hide it from your folks, like, do you know what I mean? And yeah, but what breaks my heart, man, is like seeing young kids on like videos on Instagram, you know, either hurting each other, hurting someone else, or just indulging in little.
Yeah.
I was walking to work the other morning through town, right? Like, I was walking to the bus. I get 2 buses every morning, right? And it's 6:15 in the morning, man. There's 14-year-old kids on Westmoreland Street at 6:15 in the morning on a fucking weekday.
Jesus.
It breaks me fucking heart. It literally shatters me heart into pieces because I'm like, you know, what the fuck is going on? Like, and you kind of, like, you don't necessarily, like, wonder where they come from, but you wonder what went wrong.
I know.
Because it's not, I don't care what anyone says. It's not their fault.
Yes. Well, nothing really is our fault, like, in some fundamental sense.
I know people are going to argue, little scumbags, and, you know, it isn't a child's fault. You have to understand, children at a young age, it's very difficult for them to comprehend certain fucking things, man. You're growing up, you know, and there's no, like you said, father figure in the picture to turn around and discipline a young fella. Yeah. And whatever you may think of discipline, hopefully appropriately, but
well, the best way I think about it is, it's like we don't really have a say on like anything. When we're just thrown out of the cosmic vagina, and like that's just what we get. What happens to us, we really have no real control over it. And if you think about it, all right, let's say you're looking at someone, right, at any age. All right, they're a scumbag. Were they a scumbag when they were 2 years old? Were they a scumbag when they were 5?
That's what I'm saying, man.
10?
Like, you can't,
when did they become scumbags?
you don't look. You need to look at the root of the problem first.
Yeah.
It's not that a scumbag for doing this. It's that what has caused them to indulge themselves in these things. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, don't, like for example, like so you look at the whole situation of, like, you know, homelessness and addiction, right? Not every homeless person is an addict. Do you know what I mean? But I noticed that one thing a lot of people, including myself now, I'm not going to act innocent here at some stage, a point in time, everyone just assumes every homeless person is an addict. Do you know what I mean? And like we look, a lot of people are guilty of just looking at addicts. We were actually literally discussing this on the way up, was that they're still human beings, man. Do you know what I mean? They have a conscience.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunately very damaged because of the things they've been through. You don't look at the addict and say, oh, you have to look and maybe think about what led them to addiction.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? That's the problem with, like, you know, the likes of, you know, a lot of people in general, is that they don't look at the root or the cause of why these people might be walking down that way. They just look at them and they're like, he's a fucking scumbag, he's a junkie. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? He's not a junkie. He's a human being. He is a human being that went down
some path that they didn't have real control over. None of us
possibly did. You know what I mean?
It's hard for me to see where, like, sort of free, like, I do believe sort of in a free will and maybe some sort of cosmic sense, but from like just a straightforward evidence-based perspective, like from the moment we were born, every frame that came after that, like where do we come in with our control if each frame is basically, this frame now was based on the previous frame, which was based on the previous frame, and if it's just loads of frames, it's hard for me to see then, like, at what point is that person to blame for their situation or whatever. And it's when we can sort of zoom back and try to take that picture in, but then we have to realize we can't just say, oh, it's not their fault and let them keep say stealing, right? No, you're not saying that.
Like, you can only justify somebody's actions for so fucking long.
No, but it's not. But the way to do it is to you don't. It's not like we still have to try and prevent people from committing harm or committing more pain into the world. But that comes from like better rehabilitation, like looking at them as a human first, and not as just like a problem in a way.
Exactly what I was trying to say to you. You know what I mean? And that's what I talk about. That's basically what I'm trying to talk about in Crumlin's Prayer.
Yes.
Is that, like, let's look at the root of the problem, not fucking, you know. Now don't get me wrong. My language in the song is very vulgar and very, but the reality of the situation is that, like, one thing, when I'm walking through Dublin in the morning, you know, and I'm just observing everything around me, like, my heart breaks because it's just like fucking, it's a whole range of emotions, like, you know what I mean? Like I said, about being grateful that I'm not in that position, and, you know.
Yeah.
But my heart breaks, man, because I think the reason it does is because it hits a soft spot in me, because growing up I was very misunderstood. A lot.
Yeah.
Quite a lot of the time, and, you know, people constantly just scolded me rather than trying to, you know, figure it out. And so when I see stuff like that, like, you know, the likes of town addicts roaming the streets,
Right,
God bless them, homelessness, I just see a lot of misunderstood people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We talked about this in the last podcast, not to keep repeating myself, I'm so sorry. Understanding is such an important part of, you know, being a human being and connecting with one another. Understanding is so important, man. Do you know what I mean? And I'm always telling people, even hopefully the people that listen to this, man, is, you know, it's cliche, but look at yourself first before you place judgment on someone, man, because we've all made fucking mistakes before. Everyone has made fucking mistakes. People have been in bad positions, and people have done stupid shit to cope with them bad positions that they were in. So, you know, look at yourself before you judge people, you know.
So
Do you know what I mean?
if you break it down to basically what would the ideal world look like? We'd want everyone to have a great upbringing, to have no issues with mental health, no disease. We'd actually want the best for everybody. I think if you have a good conscience, maybe. But so then if you come at it from that perspective, that's what we'd actually want. We're not going to get to that world with just pure condemnation. We have to try and understand, because true understanding, that's how we can try sort of facilitating that world that we move into. Because if we're just going to say lock people away, or they're terrible people and that's all they'll ever be, versus okay, they had a better, so let's try reduce the amount of like single parent families. Maybe we try and have better supports. Maybe how can we try get to the root cause of a lot of these issues? Like poverty is a big one. Like poverty drives people to crime. Like crime is a symptom of just poverty and desperation.
Absolutely.
Basically, if
Absolutely.
everyone just had loads of money and was had all their needs kind of met and had good parental figures, like there'd be fuck all problems, man, with people.
Absolutely. It's very complicated.
Of course.
And now I'm not going to act like I know everything, because that's
Of course.
life. There's circumstances we couldn't even possibly comprehend, you know.
Exactly.
So I'm not like trying to be disrespectful or tell, hey, you do this and all. I mean, that's easier said than done to figure these things out. But it just, you know, we're human first, man. You know,
so as an artist, I guess, and as a creative, like we are more sensitive. Like it's in our nature. Like I'm sensitive to things, basically. But that's where art kind of comes from in a way. But it hurts as well. Like the burden. Like I remember I had it just in terms of, because not everybody on the street or not everybody that's looking for money is like the worst person in the world or whatever.
No.
There was this woman around Christmas last year, and she had a note in her hand. She was like, "Sorry, could you just help me buy these messages?" And I'd just been busking, so I had loads of change, and I was just like, "Oh yeah, here." And I could see in her eyes like that, like she was just like a woman on the estate, just like trying to feed her family or something. And she was like, "Oh no, I don't want the money. If you could just get it." And I was like, no, it's grand. And then she just started bawling, and I started bawling. And then as I started walking away, I was like, because I'd been earning good money at the time, and I was like, I wanted to go back and give her more, because I was just thinking, I know what it's like to struggle for money, and have money be a point of stress. Like I've been through that in a way, and hopefully I won't have to go through it that much in the future. But I was just like, what is money to me now? Like for her, it's everything at this point. Like because it's right now there's just money sitting in my fucking account, and just made me just realize like the different ways we can, just from being in different life circumstances, how we can view like money to one person is everything, and then to other people we just take it for granted. We take so much, once we get into a certain place of comfortability, we kind of take it for granted. But I want to try and tie it back now to this album a little bit. We've touched on it a bit, but I just want to go back to Florbit, basically. Like where did he come into the picture? Because he seems to be like the savior of this whole project, really.
Yeah, so definitely Florbit is one of Sticky Rhino. You know Sticky Rhino?
Sticky Rhino, legend.
One of Sticky Rhino's best friends, like, you know. So I met Sticky Rhino at Minty's indie club.
Yes.
And then I'm gonna tell the truth, I can't really recall vividly, but he was around with Sticky Rhino quite a lot.
Yeah.
And he's a DJ.
Yeah.
An amazing one at that, by the way, man. An amazing one. Florbit does be at gigs and all, man. Make sure you follow Florbit on Instagram. FLORB.
He looks like he's real into his synthesizers or whatever, like just wires everywhere.
He's a genius, man. You know what I mean? But Florbit was DJing for a few of the gigs we were doing, right? And me and Student, who was on Pan's Labyrinth on the album.
I want to get into him as well.
Pan's Labyrinth, man. What a fucking tune.
Yes.
He'd be DJing a lot. Florbit would be DJing at a lot of the gigs, you know. And he texted me either late 2022 or early 2023, and was just basically like, look, man, Pan's Labyrinth is a fucking tune, and I would love to be able to record that for you. And I was like, oh my God. Because I was literally, at the time, I was like even saying it to Anne, I don't know where I'm going to record this album and who I'm going to record it with, because I want someone, one, who isn't going to fucking, who we can get along with. Not only as people, but musically.
Yeah.
We have the same picture in mind and we agree together. We're both happy with everything.
Yes.
Not that you have to agree on everything, but more on the lines of
but
we know what the
consensus.
bigger. Yes. Thank you. So, because man, in the past I've said it before, like one of the many reasons it took so long for this fucking thing to even come out. And it's my fault now also. I'm not just putting the blame on people, but just working with people, having creative differences and complications, and then there's petty bullshit going on with people. And just, I'm not going to get into that or anything, but it's just, it was always bollocks, you know what I mean? It was always something.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that could be on me too, like, but anyway, Florby got onto me, Pan's Labyrinth. I was like, oh, Jesus, yeah, happy days. And we just talked about everything and then came to the consensus. And then he was like, right, Florby's my right hand man now in regards to engineering, man. And that's the thing we notice, man. See, when people are like, let's say recording albums, a lot of them don't shout out the engineer, man.
Yes.
They never shout out the fucking engineer.
Yeah.
Like, Florbit recorded this basically, the whole thing. We recorded and mixed and mastered the whole thing, bar Dalys' verse. Daly recorded his verse with the engineer he works with, which is Adam McNamara. Shout out to him. But Florbit, like, literally recorded and mixed and mastered the whole thing, like, you know what I mean? Effortlessly, might I add. And, like, I'm not being bad, man. See, this week, like, the whole week, he was working overtime for me, kind of thing. Like, he was fucking, right, what do you need from Monday till yesterday?
Wow.
Yesterday, he was working overtime on mixing and mastering this fucking album. I'd be in work, he texts me like 9 or 10 o'clock first thing in the morning, being like, right, bro, what needs to be done with this track? What needs to be done with that track? So, yeah, I met Florbit anyway through Sticky Rhino. We was DJing the gigs. Fantastic DJ, like, you know what I mean? And, like, just absolutely phenomenal, man.
Knows the stuff anyway.
Yeah, and he's a fantastic engineer, man. Like, working with Florbit's incredible, man, because he gives great constructive criticism. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, I love that, man. You know what I mean? Because he cares about the art as well, man. He wants the whole thing to come out as best as it possibly can for the listener, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for the sake of myself kind of perfecting the craft, it doesn't get more better than that, man, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, to have somebody, you need people that I think are, especially on the project, that are invested in the project, that want it to be as good as it can be. Like, I think, whereas some of the early songs I recorded myself, I was just getting people on Fiverr to do them, and they turned out okay. But the producer I have Rob now, like, we're in a similar way. He's like my floor bit, except he does all the production as well. But the difference, I think, is that, or the difference that makes the difference is that he's real invested in it, and he wants to create the best. Like you're saying, floor bits, like texting you, he's mixing it, because it's all about, like, what are we going to do here with our time on this earth, and to be able to create or be part of a project, not just be part of it, but to actually, like, be like a spearhead it in a way, because you bring your skills and expertise, he brings his skills and expertise. Like, without the two of them, nothing happens in a way. You know what I mean? And, like, they both need each other. Like, them two, like, or otherwise it doesn't actually happen. So I think it's very important to, like, especially give credit where credit's due. Like, always, and especially when people, like, it sounds like Florby, like, when he's putting in, like, he's trying his best to make this as good. When you told him in April, we need to re-record, like, what will happen there? Like,
he was all right with it. He got it. Like, I was like, you just have to give me a bit of time. I just need to hit the drawing board again. write a few bits, and I was kind of like, I want to come up to you prepared, man. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to come up because I cared about Flaw this time too, man. Flaw,
Of course.
we're not gonna get into anything. He works like himself, and he's
Yeah.
a busy man, like, do you know what I mean? So I don't want to be coming up to Flaw wasting his fucking time either. Do you know what I mean? That was the one that, to be honest, that was actually one of the main things I was really worried about. Was I don't want to come up, record with you, and fucking just take the piss, man. Do you know what I mean? You're at the providing me with the opportunity to fucking do what I do, what I love to do the most, what my dream is, man. And, you know what I mean? So, like I was saying earlier, I was just half recording tunes up and being like, So when he understood completely when I was like, I need to go back to the drawing board, he was actually, I think, happy out with that. And there was no kind of like, anything from him. He was just like, you do your fucking thing, come back to me when you're ready, basically. And the day we recorded Hell's Messenger, it was fantastic. Like, you know what I mean? Just
he's already.
Yeah,
or
man.
You were ready at least.
The vibes are good. That's the one thing about Flawbit I love the most as well, is he makes me comfortable, man. I'm very comfortable recording around
you
Flawbit.
need that.
Because me, like, I'm messy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of takes, voice breaks, sound, and just stuff like that.
Of course.
What I mean? Especially with what we record, with what we talk about in music, you know what I mean? He makes me very comfortable doing it around them, and
the subject matter.
it's dark and deep, but yeah, man, like, and that's the thing, like, I put him down as the executive producer on it because he really is, like I said, like, he went through every second of these tracks to make sure that they were the best they could be. And like I said, when we were recording, man, he wasn't just simply just sitting there clicking buttons. He was like, right, so here, see when you say this, man, I think you should do this with the tone of your voice. And by the way, this chorus, how about we put a few ad-libs on that? And also, just on the outro of that song there, I think you should kind of maybe calm down just a little. That's what I'm saying, man. That is so important. They're the ingredients to make something consumable artistically, but also makes it
great as well. Because
it's so great, the standard.
We were talking about this earlier, because we have a limited perspective, like, from inside our own experience as us.
Yeah, we do.
And he's like posing questions to you, and questions that you would have never thought about. And he's looking at it from the outside. Like, so he has a totally different perspective of it. And you'll never be able to see his perspective. Like, and it's the weird bit about life. And I just on this point, because it's just before it leaves me, is that, especially when I'm doing these gigs now, and you've obviously experienced this, people coming up and saying, like, that was brilliant, like, fair play to you. Like, I'm finding it hard to, because when I say to you, that was fucking brilliant, right? You'll never know what it's like to be me. And there's a disconnect in a weird way. And I'm finding it, like, I'm finding it hard to, like, I'm trying to understand. I can feel what it's like for them, but there's always a part that I'll never understand. And I'm fucking really wrestling with this idea. But just, we'll go back to Florbit now. But for his perspective then, when he's looking at the outside, he can see more. You can only see what you see. And the fact that you have him then to pose questions, basically, that's what it is. Think, okay, yeah. And because, like, you need him, but that shows that he's invested in the art. Because if he wasn't, then he'd be like, great, next.
But exactly my point. Like, you know, and he asks me, am I happy with it? And you just hit the nail on the head. He's not just fucking, because I'm going to be honest, I have recorded with individuals that would have been like that. Yeah. And then when I kind of think back, and even just stuff that's not released, I do have a lot of stuff that I recorded over the years that is either gone missing or, excuse me, fucking hell, or that's I haven't me found, like, just a few little bits, tidbits.
Yeah.
And like, I just remember, like, I remember the recording, and I'm not just putting it on. It's the vibe. Do you know what I mean? Man, you could be in a recording studio, and you think you're going to record this fucking phenomenal tune. It's
gotta be brilliant.
It's just immaculate. You know what I mean? You think you're the best rapper ever. And, like, either people are lying to you saying it's great when it's not. Or, it's just, yeah, man, you need to be around the right people.
Yeah.
Man, you know what I mean?
Honest people and people that care.
Yeah, exactly. And Flawbit does care a lot, man. Do you know what I mean? So, man, big. I can't express in words how grateful I am. Like, you know what I mean? And this week, man, I can't, like, every single day I was texting him, this needs to be changed, that might need to be changed. I didn't complain once, didn't, you know, he's like, yeah, no bother, bro. Cool. I'll have it over to you. I'll have it over to you in a few hours or tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? And bro, trust me, like, this week was very complicated because when he'd send me something,
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay.
And you have to say it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's the positive attitude he has.
Exactly.
I know I'm here texting Flobby, man. I'm so fucking sorry. He's like, this is part of the territory, man.
It is part of it. Like the thing, the tough bit about creating music is that it's all about the feedback loop.
Yeah.
And having to say to people, because we're used to just saying, we never really have to say, like, oh, I'm just not happy with that little sound, or I'm not happy with this bit, like, so much as when you're creating music. You kind of have to say, and like, because you know, they've put work in, and then you have to say, I'm not happy with this. But yeah, if you're not honest, you're going to hate it. And if you hate it, you're gonna hate everything about it later on. And it, like, that's, you have to, like, so with my album, when I was listening to it, I had to make sure that the only thing I could make sure of is that I don't hate anything in it. Like, if I hate something, that's a problem and I need to mention it. But other than that, it's like, okay, if nothing's like hurting me, then that's a good metric to say that's good enough to kind of go out. But if you have to be honest about that, and if you're not, you're gonna suffer the consequences of just having something out there that you're like, I wish I had just said that the kick was too, like, or something.
Man, it's the littlest
Yeah.
thing. So, you know, but I honestly wouldn't change this for the world, man. I wouldn't change it because I'm really happy with it. Like, I really am.
And then,
which is the best thing you could ever ask for. Is actually because, like,
I know,
I'm never happy with my
I
stuff,
know.
Ever. Could be fucking immaculate. I'd never be.
Just be like, yeah.
I'm actually really happy with this, man. I feel like, you know, whoever listens to it will enjoy it. You know, it's for, I made it for, you know, I would be out straight. I just made this for people that are like fucked up in the head, man. You know what I mean? I made it for people that love hip hop and that are a little fucked in the head. I made it for me, but once it's out there, it's not mine anymore.
Yes, of course.
It's just not, it's yours now. Yeah. So I just, you know, I hope whoever does listen to it just gets anything they want from it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anything, hopefully they enjoy something, they enjoy all of it, or they just have something they can take away from it. That's all that matters, you know what I mean? And it's the start, man, you know what I mean? Like, I really, I wasn't taking the craft that seriously up until now.
Yes.
I was just taking the piss quite a lot of the time. And I was very scared to release music, man. I was terrified. You know what I mean? I was really terrified because, like I said, like, I was always down with myself, and I never really, I'll be honest, like, I mean, I know I'm good at what we do. Yeah, I know I'm good.
Yeah.
But I'm always going to be humble and try to better myself every day with it now. Because the thing was, man, I just sat on it for so long because I was scared and I was being lazy, or I was, you know, procrastinating all the time. Because that's easy to do. It's easy to run away from the stuff you fear the most. And to be
100%.
honest, I fear, as much as I fucking love this and I put everything into it, I wasn't doing the necessities for the craft, like, do you know what I mean? And I was always making excuses all the time, do you know what I mean, as to why I wasn't doing it. And, you know, I was just letting opportunities pass where I could have done it and got shit done and got hard work done. So now this is the start. You know, now I actually want to do it. I want to better myself every day, man, with this, like, do you know what I mean? I want to fucking, you know, rap there's a science to rap, man, do you know what I mean?
Of course.
But
you understand the mechanics of it just from repetition.
Nerd, man. I'm a nerd. I'd be giving out the cunts and all about rap music, like, pure on arguing with people, being like, you know, because my brother was kind of like that with me when I was a young fella. Like, he was showing me Mob Deep and being like, you know, they were 19 when they made that song, man.
Yeah.
What do you mean you don't like that? You for real? That's fucking unreal. And then, like, I was saying, like, my eldest brother is honestly the reason I rap today. My eldest brother, he is the reason I rap today. He is the reason I am who I am today musically. Like, and I nearly cried, man. I was over with him on Monday, and I basically showed him, like, I didn't get all of Hell's Messenger back on Monday. I think Florbit though sent me either 3 or 4 off it, I don't know. And I nearly cried, man, because, like, he was the one. He rapped years ago. So he's like my biggest inspiration. Like he was like my hero as a kid. Do you know what I mean? And like he was always there for me because I was a little bollocks as a young fella. I was getting suspended from school, you know, and getting in big trouble all the fucking time and doing me outfless head in because I was just doing some fucking brain dead stuff in school. Like, do you know what I mean? And you know, my brother Dottie would be there. Like, let's say I'm at home. I literally remember the day we like hip hop like changed my life, and I was suspended and I was in the gaff, and he handed me a load of CDs, like, and I listened to them, and just me fucking mind was blown. And like I seeing him do it, and the way he did it, like he was like a fucking superhero to me. He still is, like, do you know what I mean? But there's like what I was saying about me dad. I want to be better than the person who taught me, like, but for them, because you know, and yeah, man, when he listened to the tunes, his hands were shaking afterwards, like, and he was shivering, and he was like, you made it further than I ever did, and it's such a good thing to say. I nearly like broke down in tears because I made him proud. He was the only person I ever wanted to make proud with my music. Like, I didn't really care, like, about no I care, like, you know what I mean. I do care, but what I'm saying is I didn't I wasn't passionate about the thoughts of others, like, in regards to, like, if someone likes my music, that's the best thing in the world, like. And if someone dislikes it, that's fucking grand, like, do you know what I mean? I'm not one of these people that's like, oh, you hate me tune, you're a cunt. You don't have to like the music, you know. But making him proud,
it just meant a lot.
That's like, I know this might sound silly, but on Monday that I was kind of like had an epiphany then, and I was walking back to my gaff from his, and that was the feel I think I was always looking for, and he was always proud of me.
Yeah.
But seeing how he reacted
Jesus.
to when I showed him the tunes off the oak, like, I was waiting for that day since I was like 12, like. Do you know what I mean? I always wanted to make him proud, and that is priceless, like, you know what I mean?
100%.
That is just so priceless, making him proud, and that was the fuel I always looked for. And then when I was walking, anyway, I was sorry repeating myself, being all over the place, but when I was walking back to my gaff on Monday, it was about, I don't know, it was late anyway. I always go over to see my brother on a Monday, you know. It just kind of made me realize, yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this till the day I die. Like,
yes.
This is what I'm here for. Like, do you know what I mean?
See, that's it's insane when you create such a body of work, let's say, and you put your heart and soul into it, and you show yourself that you can do it, and having that realization of, like, having your brother be so proud of you, like, there's no amount of money or success that would ever be able to give you that feeling or that story that you've lived. That is so priceless. Like, with your one life that you've lived, like, it's making me emotional just thinking about it. It's just a beautiful fucking thing, and it's like that's what we can. And I'm delighted that you've kind of realized that you can now keep bringing this forward with what you're doing, in a way, because I think as artists, what I've made the similar commitment. It's just like, I just want to commit to creating, because having that finished body of work, or that finished piece, that's what gives me so much joy. Like, nothing ever fills me with that much joy. And it's just beautiful, man, that you're living that life. Like, it's intense shit. Like,
oh man, I try not to cry myself.
Yeah,
it's just fucking, because, man, that's what it's so good that I've made it here, because, like, a lot of people. Like, I'm not like, it's big for me, and it always will be. And I understand people are probably looking from the outside in and just being like, you know, it's only 6 tracks, you know. I understand that, and I wouldn't blame them if they are thinking that, you know what I mean. But, like, it's the world to me, man.
Yeah.
Like, people literally don't understand. Like, I spent 2-day studio sessions. You know, me and Rightwell used to have, shout out to Rightwell.
Oh, Rightwell, yeah.
Rightwell, do you know what I mean? Big shout out to Rightwell, like, do you know what I mean? Like, when we were, man, I know people, I'm a broken record, but, man, 2-day studio sessions and no food, man. Living off of fucking a yogurt and a can of Monster, man. What the, you know what I mean? I mean, deadly serious, man. Living off of yogurts, cans of Monster, what, busking,
Wow.
you know, and then we're going to Fibber McGee's, and, you know, oh, man, we have enough for a box of smokes, points, and a double cheeseburger out of McDonald's. You know what I mean? But, like, but man, literally, I'm only joking. You know.
No, I know, yeah.
I'm being, that really, that's
No, but I
real.
believe, yeah.
Like, out straight, man. Yeah, we
Yogurts and cans of Monster, man.
These were like, you know, kind of straight, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
man, like, fuck the field. I just want a box of JPS, man. I haven't had a smoke all day type thing, you know what I mean? Like, it was my priorities were kind of, like, you know.
Yeah.
But people really, like, that's what I was saying to you earlier, man. When I'm watching these amazing rappers, like, do you know what I mean? Irish rappers, like, do you know what I mean? And they're releasing, like, I know, like, if anyone's, I don't share other people's music a lot. It's not out of disrespect. I hate social media.
Yeah.
I hate it, man. And, you know, it's literally not, I'm not sharing this because I just don't, like...
Try not to consume as much.
Oh, yeah, I don't,
be a part of it. It's just not your thing.
I do listen.
Yeah.
I am paying attention. It's the only reason I have it. Like, you know what I mean? There's a lot of Irish rappers we do listen to and pay attention to, and they make phenomenal art. But that's what I was saying to you earlier, man. It's just, like, I realised this was 5 years of overthinking and you know, sleepless nights and just staying up, man, till fucking, like, you know, from 11:30 till 8 the next morning, trying to write the best shit I could possibly write, man. I really did put, like, so much of myself into this. And I know, like, again, only 6 tracks, but you don't understand what them 6 tracks mean to me, because I tried, like, over the last, like, man, I have loads of shit there that I probably won't release or record. But, like, I really put me fucking heart and soul into this, man. Like, I broke myself up mentally and physically. I fucking just to try and be the best I possibly could be. But a lot of people, just real quick, the reason as well, man, a lot of people don't understand, like, because people do ask, like, you know, what did take so long, and what, you know, for just 6 songs, like, you know, you have to remember, this is a full album. Like, Heaven Servant is a part of this. It's just we decided to split it into 2 parts to make the process easy. Well, I was, you know, and we were happy with that, cool. But, like, what I was saying there was that, man, like, a lot of these people that I am listening to, they put the art first and foremost above anything. I was genuinely in positions in life where I couldn't do that, man. Like, I had a lot going on in my life, do you know what I mean? A lot, you know, and that's just life, like, you know, I'm not complaining, you know, but besides from the times I was making excuses and just procrastinating, like, I was just such an unlucky fucker, like, do you know what I mean? Because any time we did go, you know, get a text, all right, you know, get a phone call, bollocks, you know what I mean? And I don't want to get into what was going on out of the sake of respect for others and things, but I was going through a lot, man. A lot of my loved ones going through a lot too, and there were situations I couldn't be like, we'll deal with that tomorrow, I'm in the studio. There were situations where I'm at to get on a phone call after go now.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was constant stress and just, I was just so unlucky, man, do you know what I mean?
So it's interesting because we kind of anticipate the criticism before it happens even. Like, you're like, oh, it's only 6 songs, or like, when I had that show in Whelan's, and I was like, in my head I'm like, I sold it out, but it's only 50 people or whatever. Like, but it's just like, why am I I'm anticipating, like, criticism in a way of like what people will say or what's this and that, but it's all just like, this is something I realized the other day. Imagine, right, we lived in this world and there was only one glass. There was no other glass in the world. This would be the most amazing shit ever. Or there was only ever one song. And that, if there was only one song in the world, that would be the coolest shit of all time, right? And there was never any other, there can never be another song except for that one song. Everyone would treat that one song with such a level of reverence that you wouldn't even believe. It would be like this crazy thing that came out of the universe. But we don't give the same credence to stuff that, because there's so much music and we're comparing against music, but you have to kind of treat your art as like a once-off creation, because you're a once-off creation in a way. And the fact that however many songs or however long it took, like, at the end of the day, if you can come out with that, like, the way I see it now, like it's like if when you go back to when you die, and they ask you like how did you get on, you'll be like, look at I got Hell's Messenger. You know what I mean? And I think the same for my own shit. It's like it's such a beautiful thing.
It took me time to be proud of who I am artistically, because that's why I was so scared to, because that sounds very different to what hip hop is now today. I've always sounded different. I've always been old school. I don't fit in with mainstream or the norm nowadays. And then there was a point in time where I was really proud of that. And then when I seen what the climate was now, I was fucking terrified, because I'm doing something that's now somewhat considered out of the ordinary a little. Not completely.
Yeah.
But like what young fellas are listening to Drake now.
Yeah.
They're listening to, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Of course.
I'm not even going to get into that.
Of course.
I think Drake's a dickhead, but it is what it is. I don't really care. If you like his music, happy days, man. I'll never criticize anyone for the music they listen to. Like my outfit always said that to me. What if it makes them happy?
Oh yeah. And we can't really control what we like.
We can't. So, I just
But basically, so in the current, you're just looking out and you're like, Jesus, where does my foot still fit in?
Where do I fit in? Exactly. Where the fuck do I fit in? Like, you know what I mean? Do we sound like a fossil? Do we sound ancient because I'm doing shit that, and that's what, man. But that's what we love the most, man. We love that old school 94 Dusty.
Yeah.
Because that summons something in me that makes me create, in my opinion, good art. And it's just, but man, I think one of the things as well that contributed to me procrastinating was insecurity, and being insecure of who Kaycii is and the art that I have, because man, I'm straight, like, and the guy of kids in Crumlin now telling me they like me music, and that means the fucking world to me, like, but like them kids, like, I get it, like, there's no harm in it, like, do you know what I mean? But they're listening to stuff that sounds so different from fucking mine, and that is mainstream. I do think about, like, what if everyone thinks this is just a load of bollocks, or this too, people just going to be like, oh man, because I've had it before, man. Like, me and Rightwell recorded this tune. It used to be out. It's called Burn It Down. And I don't know if I talked about this in the last podcast. This was the first tune we ever recorded together, and it was actually one of the first tunes I ever recorded. And like, Rightwell's verse on that is ridiculous. It's like me and Chewy stepping on a track by the light that matched the world cards of Irish rap, because every holiday we're looking for that mic to slash and might just stop. Nah, keep it a check, because otherwody be locked up on the receiver the checks. I want to be free like the heat of the decks. Rightwell, man, is fucking phenomenal.
Yes.
Right? And one of the best verses ever, right, on that tune. And what was I going to say? So we were in Fibber McGee's one night, and we were out with, like, when we were busking, we used to just meet random people and end up chilling out with them for a month or two. Always go fibbers with them, drink and shit, like, and met a lot really cool random people, like, you know what I mean? Just, there was this bloke there anyway, with the people we were with and all, we're talking about the music and stuff and what we're doing, and this bloke was like, can I hear the tune? We were like, yeah, of course can, yeah, cool. I let him listen, and he was like, yeah, here, bro. He turned around to me and Rightwell and was like, yeah, here, bro, that's not going to get played in the fucking radio. And I was kind of looking at him like, well, it's not made for radio play, pal. Do you know what I mean? It's not fucking, like, I'm sorry, I don't, like, and I'm not, like, this is my criticism of Drake is, man, the likes of Drake. And again, this is just my criticism. It's like, there's only so many songs you can write about this young one you met in a nightclub that you fell in love with, and now you're never going to see her again. And then the next song is about how gangster you are. I'm sorry, and I know that's going to piss off a lot of people if people are going to be in the comments, I'm sorry, do you know what I mean? But, like, that's what I was really scared. Like, that kind of, I always think of that moment in Fibbers when your man was like, that's not going to get played in the fucking radio, you know what I mean? You need to calm down and all. You need, and like, I can take constructive criticism, man, don't get me wrong. But then we see, like, and again, you do not have to like me music whatsoever. My God, you're entitled to. If you think my music should, that's happy days, man. Because, like, do you know what I mean? Same thing I just said about Drake there, man. People can, you're so aggressive. That's cool. And I am. Do you know what I mean? But, like, it's not, oh no, that kind of always stuck with me, that little moment of your man being like, that's not going to get played in the fucking radio, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That just had this fucking imprint in my brain.
Yeah.
And then...
But that's so like it's just, this is such an interesting topic because like feedback and people's subjective experience of your art, it's hard to not get caught up in what people say sometimes. But like people say that's not church music. You wouldn't really be like, oh no, it's not church music. Like even if people will say things that they feel is true to them, but that doesn't make it true out here in the world, or it doesn't mean that we have to give it any sort of credence or any sort of value. But it's hard when you hear certain things, like words are like kind of like this, like they can be like black magic, because they can, if you abuse somebody on the street, you just say, you're a stupid, ugly fucking piece of... A random person.
Yeah.
No, think...
I was just laughing because I was so randomly...
But I think about this because I think in the darkest... What would be the darkest thing a human could do? If I followed somebody for a half an hour and I just abused them, that could change their life. They might be afraid to ever go out again.
Yeah.
Think about that. I have that power in me, that sinisterness. Like, I don't have it in me, but there's the possibility for a human to do that to another human in a way. But it's like, with that, like the view, we have no control, and it's easy to we know this, like, oh, you create art for yourself or blah blah, but it's just that we actually have no control of how other people will receive or perceive the art. It's impossible, and so all you can do is create from a place of, I really love this, and like, because that's all you can do. If you were writing stuff that maybe he thought was for the radio, you wouldn't like it. So it's like, you're gonna have to please somebody. So you have to please the only person you can please.
Like, listen, man. Like now, like I was 20.
Oh yeah.
19 at the time. So like when I'm like you know, saying all that stuff, but I'm not slagging him or trying to do. It's just, that's just his perspective.
Of course.
I know that it took me so long to kind of accept people aren't going to like your fucking music, man. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is. You know what I mean? And
think of all the music you don't like.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, I just, you know, I don't know what it was, man, and I hope I don't. It took me a long time to realise that there's only one Kaycii, man.
Yes!
And I have to be, you know,
you have to give Kaycii the full shilling in a way.
Yeah, man, because, like, there is only one Kaycii. Now, Kaycii is made up of, you know, his influences and stuff, you know what I mean? But there is only one Kaycii. And see what your man said to me at the time, it took me a long time to come to grips with, that's okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's all right. And I get where he's coming from now, but back then I was just like, what, you know, in my head, I was like, what does he fucking know? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I know he's like saying to me, all he listens to is nightclub music, Wham Bar and all. Do you know what I mean? But then, like, now that I'm older, like, I realised that was my insecurity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's okay for that man to have that perspective, and, you know, I respect it. I really do. Like, and fair enough, man. You know what I mean? I understand where you're coming from. I just don't make music for that, you know, demographic of people. And if that demographic of people do listen, my music, you know, it's not for, like I said to you earlier, man, it's just for people that are a little fucked in the head and love hip hop. But I hope other people do enjoy it or can take something from it. You know what I mean? You know, see, this is the complicated fucking thing, man. I could be here for fucking 7.5 hours trying to explain this, but I think I'm just waffling now. I think the moral of the story is, man, I just needed to come to grips and accept me for me.
Yes. Exactly, and not be worried that you mightn't fit into certain brackets or whatever.
And that's okay, man. Do you know what I mean? That's all right. That's cool, man. You know, when I've had people come up to me being like, man, don't like your music. That's cool, bro. Literally have a point at that fella.
If I don't like people's music, I don't actually just go up and say it, though.
Nah, like, you know, like, it wasn't kind of like that, but they were kind of, they'd be like, I have to be out straight with you, bro. Not a fan. That's all right, man. That's cool. Literally, like, that's all right. Have a point at them. Nice one for listening anyway, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, outside, man. Now, obviously, like, I mean, I remember when me and Roy were busking, right? You would
Oh
get
yeah.
man, because you're out in the public domain.
Oh, stop,
You're in the
man.
you're in
I've
it.
got
That's
some
not
horrible
a realm
abuse.
altogether,
Yeah.
man. You'd have people. Remember, like we'd have people and all, and like majority of the time, like not to sound stereotypical, like we sometimes we'd have cunts in suits walk around briefcases. Shut your fucking mouth and all. Do you know what I mean? You're just like fuck you, like do you know what I mean? You little rat going to your office and all,
Yeah.
cunt. You know what I mean? And just but like we had a lot of people kind of like in a way just being like no one wants to hear that bollocks and all and shut the fuck up and you know what I mean? Like I'm walking down the road with my son and you're here screaming that's understandable. I we had everyone man guarded as well all the time guarded be like no one wants to hear this dirt. Fuck off. Like I was straight literally guarded. Fuck off down to the spire. No one wants to hear this here. Or no one wants everyone like a lot of people. But I think having that made me build thick skin.
That was it. Yes,
and
brilliant.
it made me be a stubborn cunt and say, well, I'm going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's actually brilliant.
It really made me build thick skin. Like, and then, like, I think then the more confident, like, because Rightwell was always confident, man. Rightwell was just very charismatic, like, lyrically. Do you know what I mean? Even, like, if Rightwell, let's say, we're busking, even if he, let's say, fucked up a verse real quick, he'd smile, keep doing it, and then people were like, that's good. Like, do you know what I mean? People still...
Rolled the punches real well.
Yeah, when I was fucking busking, like, and I fucked up a verse, man, I remember I got billed. Like, this was the first time I was busking.
Halloween.
Are they pebble dashing the window? Oh, cunts, man. Imagine they just...
The fireworks they have these days are insane, man. But anyway.
But we were busking... what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Like, I remember I got billed the first night we busked because we was just so nervous. So we never performed live before.
Oh, man.
Ever. Like, this is my first time ever performing in front of anybody.
Yeah.
Ever. And I, fucked up the verse. And I got billed, man. I fucking walked home from town back to Crumlin that night. And I'm not gonna lie, that broke me fucking heart. Like, I remember just fucking...
That's intense.
Actually being crushed by that, like, and I didn't even know who any of these people were. Do you know what I mean? And then Anto's there, and everyone's like, oh, right, well, everyone's like, oh, and, so
and then you got booed, and that is so hard.
Man. I was like, fuck. I was like, I'm never doing this again.
Holy shit.
Fuck you, cunts. Fuck this. I'm dirt. And then, but, like, I remember, like, sitting at home the day after, and, like, I sat up all night trying to remember me verses. Went in the next day, and I think it was the next day, and I got one of my verses and did it, remembered the lyrics, and then everyone was like, oh, and then I was like, oh, fuck, man.
Yes.
And then people started throwing money into the case and all, and I was just like, oh, that was just mad. Like, yeah, it just, I don't know.
Well, see, that initial confrontation with reality, the reality that you didn't know, like, you could have taken it to another level if you learned your lyrics, but you didn't really know that it would be so harrowing. That embarrassment of forgetting.
There you go, yeah.
That pushed it.
So humiliating.
Yes.
Like, I felt that small. Like, I didn't even feel like anything. But I felt, I was like fucking crushed, man. I felt so humiliated. I was like, I'm never gonna rap again.
I know, it's so hard,
I looked like
man.
a fucking tick.
When you're being embarrassed about your performance it's so hard. Like, and for stand-up comedians, I can only imagine what it's like to bomb. Well, I do know what it's like to bomb. Like, I bomb. Do you know when you say something and it doesn't land? Because, like, in between sets or something, like, you might thought it's something funny and then, like, anyway. So I know what it's like. That feeling of, oh, that was cringe, and then for your performance when you know it's not going down, or you fuck up, or. I was busking before and I thought, like, it happened to me a few times where I thought my speaker was on, but it wasn't. So I was giving it lows, and then some lad eventually comes over, you know your speaker's not on, you fucking idiot. And I was just like, no, the embarrassment. I was sitting, just because I thought I was sitting there with it. And then, I mean, I've had people come up to me and just say horrendous things. But that helps you, this is the thing with feedback. You have to, like your man who said that's not for the radio, anything, right? You have to let it in for a moment and be like, okay, let's look at this, see if there's anything of value here, and then if there is, okay, let's take the bit of value. If there's not, we have to remove. But you have to be self-aware enough and to know yourself and know like, how much do you believe in yourself and how much do you love what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's the number one metric. But you have to like feedback is good when you can look at it and not let it consume your soul and stop you from going out again in a way.
I had to kill my ego because there was an ego there, and that's what I realised. Even though like I was being humble and quiet and all, you know, at the time, making a conscious effort to be like that because I was just nervous and anxious. Like there still was an ego there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I had to kill my ego. I really did. I had to like look at myself and say like, what are you really doing this for? You know, because at the end of the day, this at times can be bigger than you.
Do you need any water?
What I do need to go for is
piss.
a toilet break.
Yeah, please.
Try not to piss
No,
myself.
you've got. We'll be right back after these messages. And welcome back to the Basil Breen Boombox. We are refreshed and ready to get in to the impromptu second half of this podcast. So we've got into quite a lot, but I wanted to bring it back to the album because on the album you have Student and Dalys. So what's let's start with Student. Like what's your relationship, or how did you even come to meet Student?
So said this in the last podcast 5 years ago. Someone passed away. You know, me and all the boys are like, fucking hell, you know. His little brother, Jake Nolan. Big shout out to Jake Nolan, man. It's coming out on his birthday. Hell's Messenger is coming out on his birthday. I did that. You know, just something there to remember. Like not to take over the fucking birthday or not. Just kind of like, look now
just an offering in a way.
Now we have something, you know, and you know we can look back on that and be like, that was fucking cool, man. You know what I mean? And how you know, great kid, man. And well, he's not a kid. He's a man now. Like I'm not, you know. But yeah. So Jake, Caleb was the lad who passed away 5 years ago, you know, and you know, and me and the lads went to this thing for him that his parents organised for him, this cool football tournament up in Tala. It was deadly, you know, and his little brother was there, and you know, cool. I think Jake was like maybe, I don't know, 16 at the time, but so anyway, long story short, I kind of started like releasing a few tunes. Just it was either, I could be wrong, either on SoundCloud, but Jake and Student Luke is Jake's, the two of them are best friends, right? And they were paying attention, like, you know, tuning in. And on the first ever tune, Humble Beginnings 1, the first ever official tune I released, like I mentioned Caleb in the song, like, you know, and you know, the lads were liking the music, and that gave me so much purpose because the lads are younger than me. I honestly take, you know, and I'm not like saying like, you know, as in
you're the grand savior of the world.
Yeah, no, not like that. But the lads were tuning in, and like I feel if younger people are paying attention, it is important to be upstanding.
Of course,
move correctly, because you don't know whether they could be paying that type of attention towards you, where they could be looking. I'm not saying like people are looking for guidance off me. I'm not trying to act like that. But if you know,
but if they are, you want to carry yourself as best you can.
You know, be upstanding around the young people, man. I do take that very seriously, like, you know. So they were paying attention. That gave me so much purpose, man. Do you know what I mean? And the two of them are in a duo called Ibex and Arte. The two of them. And the two of them are just so gifted, so fucking gifted.
Yeah.
And you know, 2022, late 2021, I asked them to come down to Circles because we never actually met. We're always, you know, the lads were just like, that tune's deadly. And I was listening to Ibex and Arte. They put up a couple of tunes on SoundCloud, I believe. My memory's terrible now. Yeah. And apologies to the lads there. Look, I'm not like, you know.
No disrespect, you know. Yeah, no, there's love there.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know, the lads were always like checking in and stuff, you know, and they paid attention. They listened to the tunes. That meant the fucking world to me, like, especially the tunes I was putting up on Spotify at the time. Like, so, you know, COVID restrictions were somewhat lifted. Circles is back on. And I was thinking, like, get the lads to fucking come down, like, you know what I mean? Come down and do something, like,
Yeah.
do get up there, do something, you know, and it'd be great, man. It'd be great for people to hear you, like, you know, and you know, and like I didn't want no credit or nothing. I just wanted to see the lads do that thing and for people to see them because they're so fucking talented.
Just
That's
get them
all
out
I
into the
wanted.
world.
Yeah, like that's all and it was amazing, you know, when they came down and it was the first time I kind of like the first time I properly kind of actually was like, what's the story? Oh shit, what's the story, boys? What's happening? Deadly, you know, and it was fucking great, you know. So me and student anyway, Luke, were talking about doing a tune for a while, and obviously COVID was fucking a lot of shit up and on. You know yourself, so start with me memory serves me well. Just start after they were going to circles, you start kind of meeting up a lot more at circles and stuff to talk about. And I wrote the start of Pan's Labyrinth late 2021. We're talking like maybe November 2021, December. I wrote my verse in the hook. And I wanted to get Daly on it. But again, I don't like asking people to do things if I know my commitment might be half-arsed. Not intentionally. I just don't like asking people to dedicate themselves into something that I could possibly not put my full energy into either. So I didn't necessarily want to waste Daly's time. It was just a thought at the time and a plan. Like, and Daly was busy as well. Daly's always flat. Shout out to Daly again, to Daly now in a second. My appreciation for them. But students, man, I can't really remember, but I asked them to just, you know, and yeah, man, I remember that we recorded the first take of Pan's Labyrinth the night after we met Anne, or like the night me and Anne kind of, you know, met for the first time, and that was amazing. That was a beautiful time in my life, like, and I had COVID, and then once I was free from the shackles of being diagnosed with space AIDS, I fucking decided to fucking, I just, you know, I was going to the open mics then and student stuff, and there was just a lot of creativity in the air, man. And I was like, student doesn't understand how much he really kind of inspired me a lot creatively, like, especially, like, he's a singer, songwriter, rapper, instrumentalist. He's everything, man. He records his own tunes, might I add, as well. He is immensely talented. He's a jack of all trades and a master of none, but it's fantastic because you know, that's just how the saying goes.
I know what you mean.
But he is fucking just phenomenal. He's phenomenal. He's gifted, man. And to just see someone, when I was his age, I was squandering the gift that I had and taking it for granted, like we were discussing earlier. So that's how that relationship kind of formed. He was paying attention to the music and he loved the music, and that inspired me and gave me purpose. But when I was listening to him, he doesn't understand how much he inspired me. He kind of made me feel like 16-year-old Kaycii again. I said that in a post I put up about the album, was that I made this for 16-year-old Kaycii as well. Like, and he made me feel like that listening to him, because when I seen how much enjoyment he was getting out of making his own tunes and the enjoyment he had performing with Jake, it just made me feel like I was the young fella sitting in my room again, listening to my favourite rappers for, like, you know, the first time, or their new album for the first time, and just being like, I'm gonna write now, for like fucking enjoying writing raps, like. So he doesn't understand how vital he is to the process of this. Like, he did play a big part in it, and I've nothing but love for the two of them. And he's doing big things now. Shout out to Artsy Polo.
Oh, shout out to Artsy Polo.
Fantastic, man. The whole lot of them is brother Adam Dunnan is on the drums. Adam's a fantastic poet, and I hope he doesn't mind me actually saying that and stuff.
Oh, no
he's gotten up in circles and did a poem or two. I hope he doesn't mind me saying that, you know. I really hope he doesn't mind me saying that. But he's a fantastic man himself. And
Carlos, is in Artsy Polo?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think so.
The Creatures of Habit. I don't know Carlos, but I know.
I
I know a bit of the backstory.
Carlos, I'm not sure.
Maybe he's on the key. Yeah.
But shout out to all of them, man.
Of course.
Fantastic band.
It takes a village.
The whole lot of them, man, are just they're phenomenal, you know. But that's where it kind of happened, man. It's just that, like, music is the magic that binds us all, man. And I'm just humbled, no pun intended, being able to provide the lads with music they could have enjoyed, especially like the fact that it was the two of them that were enjoying it meant so fucking much to me. So they don't understand how vital they are in this process, man. Do you know what I mean?
Because what happens is they listen to your music and then they tell you like, oh man, like this music's really like hitting the spot for me, and then you're feeling good because of that. So there's a feedback loop then of that the music that the love created in a way.
It made me say to myself, I'm doing the right thing.
Yes.
And I'm doing it right. That's what that made me say.
And that's all you need. That's all. Just someone to say, you know what you're doing is having an impact and a positive impact on my life. And it's like, Jesus, I'm doing something really worthwhile here.
Yes, and like another person I really want to shout out, very important, is Curtis. Curtis is like my big brother.
Yeah, I've seen a bit of him. He has a cool music video on a boat.
Little Tree, go stream and support and watch the video. Yeah, Little Tree, Curtis, Little Tree. Do you know what I mean? And he shouts me out and he's like, the third eye fixed like Kaycii.
I heard that as well! I couldn't believe that. I love that. I feel like I know stuff now.
I'm cemented now. Do you know what I mean? But it's not even just, it's not even just that bar. The whole tune is fucking cool. I've been listening to that on the way into work nearly every morning because it keeps me calm and just it's a fucking banger. But Curtis, I hope you don't mind. I actually want to shout out quite a few people.
Oh shit, man! Please, you have all the time in the world.
Curtis is also was vital to this process because he's like my big bro, you know, and he's one of my best friends. And the reason I love him so much, man, was because he was always one of the many people in my corner that was never afraid to kind of say, you know, how about you think of that differently? You know what I mean? Or you know, because now that I'm older, I tend to kind of get very passionate about things. And sometimes I tend to fly off the handle. And I don't mean to, we really don't mean to. I sound angry all the time. And sometimes I do get a bit too passionate. And, you know, I'm like, this is bollocks! Like, what the fuck do you mean? And then, Curtis is the one person in the corner to be like, hey, bro, just, you know what I mean? Maybe think, you know, here's another way to think of it. Yeah. He was always providing perspectives to me and so much knowledge and wisdom with care. That's the thing. He provided all of that with care, and he always had time for me. Like when people were just fed up with me bollocks, understandably so, by the way, he was always one of the many people in my corner that just always supported me and provided me with wisdom, knowledge, with care. And that is priceless. It meant the world to me, and still does to this day. And like Curtis, like provided me so much advice during the making of this project that, like, again, it's one of them things that the project probably wouldn't even be out now if it wasn't for the stuff, the knowledge, the wisdom, the love and care he was providing me with, you know what I mean? And he's a fantastic musician, and he really kind of opened up my boundaries, like in regards, because I always put myself in a box deliberately because I thought that's what I had to do, being so kind of is somewhat different now in a way compared to what is now out today, which is fine, by the way. But he kind of actually helped me open up my view and me perspectives and broaden me horizons so much. And just even as like my big bro, one of my best friends, man, just loving, man, being there for me and just being kind, always approach me with kindness and respect and help me out, man. Big shout out to Curtis, man. And like, you know, fucking Jimmy the Bastard, man, and Dylan Savage, like the two of them just being in my corner and motivating me all the time and just being the brothers, you know, the people that you need to always cheer you up and support you and encourage you. Like, you know, when you have a shite set, they're the lads that are there. Man, always remember there's a next time. Yeah, you know, and always give me a pat in the back and showing love and just always cheering me up and picking me up off the ground, man. Literally, the two of them are always picking me up off the ground, you know. When you fall, there's a saying, like, you fall down 9 times, you get back up 10, you get back up stronger. But they were the two people that helped me get back up stronger any time I had a mishap, made a mistake, or fucked up, or, you know what I mean? Because none of us are perfect, but it's just good to have that support. And like, and like the love of my life, man, and I can't express in words, like, you know, I really can't express the gratitude, because it's not only like it you don't like what she done for me, like, through this whole process. Like, it's not just, like, you know, being there for me, but it's also her understanding that just helped me, and her art too. is a big inspiration for this project like this. If you don't mind, just gonna get
Oh,
up here,
please,
like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? And this is great that you have this here. This is fantastic. Like, you know what I mean? And with the albatross floors, I'm gonna go up to the camera. If this is
Oh,
all right,
please,
show
yeah,
them,
go ahead.
knock things over.
That was the first,
That she gave,
yeah.
with the albatross floors, it's a fucking beautiful poem.
Oh, and it's beautifully put together as
A
well.
beautiful poem, and
And it was the first time I got like getting a gift off somebody, like in that, like a piece of art as a gift. It was
it's
just
literally a physical piece of art.
yeah, you can put it wherever you need to put it. Yeah,
I'm gonna put this here.
it's just I still think about it like and what it means just to have been gifted a piece of art that was handwritten by the artist herself. It's a
handcrafted.
Yeah, I know, it's
beautiful. Like, and that's like that is just like that's legacy.
Yeah, exactly.
Legacy,
Yes.
I mean, but,
Yeah.
By the way, like see this.
Hold on, get to the mic now before we start talking.
I don't want to like speak on Anne's behalf, but you know, they should like more of them in the future. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
More,
of
that's
course.
all I'll say. Like, I'll let Anne next time explain that, but more of them in the future, I believe. But on back on what I was saying, man, like love me life, man. Do you know what I mean? Me rock and just like, you know, all of the little things she did, like, you know, when I was having like poxy days and work and going through so many tribulations as we do as people, and you know, just being confused about so much and questioning everything and just being stressed off the head. It was all of the little things and just, you know, the patience and just, you know, man, and yeah, man. I wish I wish I had the words to actually describe and express the things, everything she's done for me, man. And because I don't want to set it short, because she's literally, you know, I'm getting emotional here, man. But Anne just fucking saved everything, really. Like, even me, like, do you know what I mean? And like, just continuously supporting me and like making me realize the gift that I have, you know, and making me feel good about myself, and you know, encouraging me to remain confident and to believe in myself. You know what I mean? Man, she's just, I can't express in words. I really can't. And
yeah, it's a beautiful thing, really, because the both of is pour so much of yourselves into your art as well, and I can't imagine when two people like that get together, just the level of the wavelength they use are on. It must be very intense.
But man, her poetry, like, like, and I say this like, is the word objectively, like, you know what I mean? Objectively, like,
well, as objective as you can.
We like, because this going, oh, boys and all, fuck off, like, I mean. But anyway, it's like a poetry and all, really, because I listen, like, you know what I mean. I want to support as much as I fucking can till the day I'm laid down in a grave, and hopefully not soon. But her poetry inspired me so much, man, and I do mean that, like, you know, like, just like the way she uses her words and the vivid imagery and the expansive vocabulary, and just like she's literally painting a picture with words, like literally, like, you know what I mean? When she gets up on stage, there is a canvas, do you know what I mean, that is waiting to be painted. But you know, and you can do whatever you want on that canvas, and she chooses to paint this beautiful, vivid imagery, and sometimes, like, you know, very vulnerable imagery. And I don't want to sell it short. I really don't want to sell her art short, because it's so amazing, do you know what I mean? And it's so beautiful, and it's so real, and, you know, honest and passionate, you know what I mean? Like,
she has real the bit that always struck me is her sort of her stage presence. I forget which poem it is, but when she's like, roaring, she starts off.
Roaring, definite.
Yeah, definite. Yeah, and it's just like, it's like hope. It's like an incantation, like a spell or something. And there is that kind of the duality between sort of some of the vulnerable subject matter, but also her confident stage presence, which she's alluded to, like she had to earn in a way. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
As we all do.
Absolutely, man. And that's the thing. Like, that's what she works hard at her craft, and like takes the time to like craft something that is just like fucking it's art in itself. Like the way she makes it is art in itself. That's the thing, her creative process. Not gonna speak on that because like that's her
Of
thing and
course.
stuff like that, but just even like, you know, it's art in itself, like, you know what I mean, everything. It's just fantastic, man, and that inspired me so much to better myself as an artist, because I understand like she's poetry, I'm hip hop, like, but like, you know, and obviously look, obviously there's a connection there, because you
Well,
know,
it's all in the space of, well, art. It's in the art space, but then art really is just showing your perspective as best you can, really.
like it just, and that's what I'm saying, man, and just it's the one of the things I love the most is the vulnerability. Look, one of my favorite poems she has is "When You Play with Lust."
I don't know if I know that one.
That's fucking fantastic because it's just so vulnerable and honest and open, and there's no shame. Not that
Yeah,
there should be
of course.
whatsoever, but it's the fact that like these are topics that other people would find difficult to speak on, and that's okay. Like, do you know what I mean? But it's just the fucking the openness and the
Yes.
raw fucking, you know,
Yes.
no fear.
Yeah.
Just
Well.
this is who I am. Do you know what I mean? And that, like I was telling you earlier, when I was afraid, that was one of the things, seeing her do that, not being afraid to be open. And like she has one called An Ode to a Seed. That's, you know what I mean? That's wow, like, do you know what I mean? I don't even know how to describe that. Beautiful, you know, but
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
it
this
took
video
it
because it's interesting with
Le Monde
poets.
Le Monde.
Le Monde existe pas.
Yeah, sorry,
My French is good either. I love
sorry for
hearing
butchering that bit.
her doing the French, like, because to speak a language, I'd say you have to kind of put on a bit of an accent in a way for it to sound like the word.
That is, yeah, just that. Yeah, you do, and she actually does.
I know, it's
fucking well.
it's
'Cause
beautiful to see the contrast.
Here I am speaking in fucking Latin tongues, trying to pronounce something French, like, do you know what I mean? So, but
But
yeah,
I
man.
think she describes, it could be in one of her poems, a voice for her voiceless past in a way. And
I am the voice of my voiceless past.
it's just
I
so
have
powerful.
taken my nightmare and turned it into my craft.
Yes, I think it could be
And I
evolution of a
won't
writer,
stop
maybe.
until my very last draft.
Oh. Yeah.
Fucking believable.
No,
The go.
it's brilliant.
The go. Unbelievable, man, you know, so.
Yeah, no, but that's the power of art in a way, because we can, it's like we talked about earlier before we came up, it's the stories of us up until this point is gone, and it's whatever story we tell ourselves about the past is whatever's true, and we can choose to look at it in particular ways. And art, and what Anne has kind of done, and what even you're doing now, it allows you to frame the past in a way that is kind of tolerable and helps you sort of transcend let's say, any trauma or horror or pain. The art is like, in the face of all that adversity and pain, it's like it's a way to sort of transcend it. The way laughter, like if you are able to laugh, when you're finally able to laugh at something terrible, laughter is kind of the transcendence of the pain in a way. But some people, we never get to that point, and there's some pains that are hard and take a lot of time. Even there's one for me that keeps coming with an old business that I had that didn't go well. I had a dream the other night that was very related, and I don't think I've fully gotten over it. And it's been like 2 or 3 years, but I got really fucked over basically. Always sign your contracts, but still, and then just sort of still from growth for me there. But just in terms of. So just in terms of, yeah, obviously Anne like played a massive role and does still play a massive role in your life. Like, how lucky are you, or how like, you know what I mean? No, but like,
express how lucky I am.
It's insane. Like we're like ships passing in the night. Sometimes we can pass by people, but I do. Apparently, the spiritual dimension that I feel is inherent to life. It's hard for me to look at reality and say that there's something like with the people that you meet and the people that mean something to you. It just feels like they were always going to come across in a way. And it's hard to see that how they wouldn't. But just on that, then, because we also have Dalys, who's on the album, right? And the two of you have obviously. You've had a good history with the artistry, like with some real old videos of losing the plot. And but yeah, so what's the story with Dalys on this one, man?
Man, Daly's my brother. Like Daly's like me and Daly like I remember the day I met Daly. Like right well, I know right well since I'm 13, and what was I going to say? Yeah, I know right well since I'm about 13 or 14. And one of my best mates from Crumlin introduced me to him. We were like, obviously we started writing together when we were 13 and stuff, right well kind of went off to do his own thing for quite a few years, like, and him and Daly were hanging around with each other. But I didn't see Roy well for a long time, but he was hanging around with Daly, and I always knew a Daly. My mates were always telling me a Daly because the boys knew I was infatuated with rap. But I knew since I was like fucking 12, I was going to do this.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? But I remember like a couple of the boys from Crumlin were like, "Do you know Daly?" I was, "Nah, man, who's that? No Daly." And right, well, Daly. And I was like, "Right, oh, Jesus, that was cool, happy days." Like, and one of the boys showed me a video of him rapping with Dylan Harcourt. Him and Dylan Harcourt. Shout out to Dylan Harcourt.
Dylan Harcourt, legend in the game.
Harcourt used to busk together, man, for a long time.
Daly was telling me this,
long time, and do you know what I mean? And they showed me a video of Daly rapping on me. Fucking, it's just like, do you know what? I don't even want to rap anymore now. Like, do you know what I mean? That's how good he was. Like, you know what I mean? He's like, I'm not fucking doing this, man. You know what I mean? This is bollocks. You know what I mean? So, Daly, man, Daly's one of my best friends, man. And me and Daly have been through thick and thin together, and like we have a bond where it's brotherhood. You know what I mean? And just he's a fucking he is like he's one of those people where I call them your favorite rapper's favorite rapper.
Yeah.
Like,
the rapper's rapper, the comedian's comedian.
The rapper's rapper, man.
Yeah.
He's actually not a rapper. Like, he's an artist in its highest form. Like, because like he has it all. He has the songwriting down,
and he's very driven.
He's very driven. He's a lyricist as well. You know what I mean? So he has a fucking all, man. Like,
when I got to talk to him about like how he thinks about how he comes up with songs, but how he practices really. When Rap God came out and people were trying to do it as fast as Rap God, he was like, I'll try to do it a little bit faster. So he was just practicing. Like, see that technique that when you did that Right Well verse a while ago. Like, you can
just there a few minutes ago.
I don't know how long ago it was.
Sorry.
But the way that sort of bullet rhythm in a way, like, and still be able to understand it must be hard. Like,
it is.
How long is it? Like, you just have to keep,
because I can do it as well. And
I
learned that I was trying to copy off Right Well, because Right Well always rapped like that.
Yeah.
Always. Me and Chubby step it on the track by the light that match the wild cards voice rap. Every holiday we're looking for the bike to slash. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
There's like fucking 78 syllables in that. And his breath control is phenomenal. Like, I've seen, like, and Right Well's a smoker, man.
Yeah.
Right Well smokes like I do. And like, that's what I'm saying. I'd be on stage on the verge of having an asthma attack. I don't even have asthma. This cunt here smoke a box of 20 JPS and still be like, having a bit. And he's like, what the fuck? But when we were kids, Right Well was rapping like that, right? I can't speak for Daly because I didn't know him at the time, but I was fucking blown away by that shit. So I was always trying to like sound like Right Well at the time, because I could write verses and stuff and rap, but I couldn't rap like that. So it is hard. It's very difficult because one, you have to when you're rapping like that, syllables are everything.
Yes.
Everything. You need the appropriate number of syllables to make it bounce like that, to be able to rap at that speed.
There's only so many like markers in the beat or the bar.
That's what I'm saying. Like, when I write like that, when I'm going to rap that fast, it's literally piece and puzzles together. You need the right type of syllables, the right amount of syllables, and you need the syllables you can pronounce correctly, so your pronunciation when you're rapping that fast doesn't sound bad fucked up.
It's like a crossword puzzle of syllables.
You know what I mean? So that's one thing. Secondly is, like, because, man, there is people that rap fast and they're saying nothing. They're just rapping fast for the sake of rapping fast. And, just like, what the fuck is this cunt talking about? Like, that's the thing. Like, Right Well is very complex lyrically in regards to, like, the way, like, he writes punchlines and what he's saying in them. Like, he writes, like like fucking quadruple entendres. You know what an entendre
Yeah,
is,
yeah,
don't you?
yeah.
They like sometimes like people write double entendres, like, you know, majority of the time writes quadruple entendres, to where like if you're a
Fuck me.
lyricist,
Yeah.
and you
And it's
get the
like, you get it.
metaphor, it's the most mind blowing fucking thing in the
Oh,
world. Like
wow.
your frontal lobe will just shrink.
Emma
Listening.
O'Brien's good at this as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Emma
yeah.
O'Brien's fantastic, man. And like Daly though was like one of the first Irish rappers that, and I'm not saying Roybal doesn't do this,
Of course.
but
This way, sorry,
one of the first people I kind of heard close to me rapping with such a substance. The substance in his songs, but the substance is so fucking deep and thoughtful. I never really heard anyone around me doing that before. Never. Like, so hearing Daly, like, kind of made me kind of go, all right, I need to start getting into songwriting a little. Do you know what I mean? And he was kind of the one that motivated me to come up with the concepts of tracks. Do you know what I mean? Deep insightful shit. He, like, you know, and he's just unbelievably passionate, man, and he has it all. And like he really does have it all. He is literally the rapper's rapper, man. Like, I mean, he literally, like, he's like I'd say, comes listen to him in that gas that want to rap or do rap, and just so like they want to pull that hair out of that head.
Yeah.
Because like I said to you, rap is a science. Like if a rapper listens to him, they're going to be fucking mind blown. Just
think,
like,
how am I going to get to that level?
Look, there's times I've listened to Daly being like, "This is bollocks."
Yeah.
What the fuck? How did you do that?
I know.
Fuck off. Get away from me, like, do you know what I mean? Pure, just like, you're too good.
Like, fuck, now I have to rethink my whole life.
Yeah, like, do you know what I mean? Literally, I'm right well done that too, but Daly, man, is just, Daly is my brother, man, you know what I mean? And, like, we have had, like, tunes on YouTube together, like, you know what I mean? But this is, like, the most lyrical tune on Hell's Messenger, where the two of us are spazzing the fuck out, where it's punchlines, metaphors, syllable bounces, double entendres, everything.
Just for the pure fucking love of it, like.
Yeah, I had to. That was the tune I had to get Daly on, and I knew when I wrote that, the original, it wasn't called The Spiritless Assassin originally. It was called 94 shit, because the original beat I had for it sounded like something off of Illmatic. And when I heard the beat, I just ended up writing this, like, fucking, at first I think it was like 60 bar verse, and it was real lyrical and all, you know what I mean? And there was deadly punchlines and metaphors in it, so I just called it 94 shit. But the Spiritless Assassin, what that is I actually had that idea for a very long time, like the Spiritless Assassin. Like, you know, the way artists come up with nicknames. I was saying this the last time. Wu-Tang Clan have the best names ever. Method Man, RZA, Ghostface Killer, fucking Raekwon the Chef.
Ghostface Killer, I love that name.
Ghostface Killer, man, you know what I mean? Raekwon the Chef, like, just mad. They got all them names from karate films, man, but they sound like fucking heroes, like superheroes, you know what I mean? Mad names. And like, I remember a few years ago, I'd say roughly about like 5-6 years ago, like, I was coming up with like little nicknames for Kaycii, like, because I know I was Kaycii, but like rappers sometimes have different aliases. Like,
got loads of different names.
So
like Hove, like Jay-Z.
Yeah, so those at first I was the 5 Foot Demon, because like Kendrick Lamar's the 5 Foot Giant. He said that, and then Five Dog from A Tribe Called Quest is the 5 Foot Assassin. Right, Five Dog, the 5 Foot Assassin, and Kendrick Lamar because he's small.
5 Foot Giant, that's
5
brilliant.
Foot Giant, big and metaphor killing up. So I was the 5 Foot Demon, because I was always writing this mad fucked up shit. And also, I remember years ago I was always trying to write the most horrendous raps ever. You know what I mean? And trying to sound like mad fucked up and saying shit that make people go, "Whoa, what the fuck?" Like, you know, because I was young and stupid at the time. And I still do write like that. I mean, the second bar on the album is me giving up is unheard of, like a braza with a toy cunt. I mean, I know it's, sorry. I still write those kind of bars, like, it's not meant to be taken seriously, you know. But anyway, I was the 5 Foot Demon, and then like I was trying to come up with this like a name with meaning behind that. And the reason I called myself the Spiritless Assassin, and you actually hear that at the very end of the project, was because the shit I went through made me spiritless, like, do you know what I mean? And like I was trying to assassinate the demons within me that were making me this fucked up person. You know what I mean? So it was the Spiritless Assassin, like, do you know what I mean? And yeah, man, so that's why. And then I wrote the tune back in 2022, and I called it then the Spiritless Assassin, and then I was like, this is perfect for Daly, man. Like, do you know what I mean? Because I love, like, when me and Daly like rap together, like, you know, if we do rap together or if we're like talking about tunes, it's always the mad lyrical stuff. Because,
Yes.
like I said, we're students first and foremost, no pun intended, we're students first and foremost of our craft and what we're committing to, this art form, words, metaphors, punchlines, everything. Like, we're
Just the
students
mechanics of it.
we're students of that. We study this. We are scholars. We are literal scholars.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, like,
you notice the intricate little tiny details.
how can we like make this art form, like, how can we push the boundaries of this art form lyrically? And that's what, so anytime I'm always with Daly, man, I'm always like, here, I wrote this, and then he's like, oh man, will you hear what I wrote? And then it's like, well, you know what I mean? And yeah, so
But that's what I wanted to get into this a little bit, because the sort of the spirit of the MC of, like, you know, there's a kind of an inherent sort of bravado tied into being a rapper and MC, like, because it's all everyone's trying to put, like, basically every rapper or any MC should think like that they're the greatest of all time in some way.
Don't.
I
don't. I'm one of the cunts that don't think like that.
Or they don't. You don't have to think like that, but how you bring yourself forward in that way of, like, how, like, what is this? What is it about, like, battle rap or just putting your, like, the best lyrics that you possibly can on the tape?
Battle rap, that's a different craft.
Oh yeah, of course.
There's different elements required to be a battle rapper. We've watched battle rap, like, in Dublin.
Yeah.
And I think that's some of the most intricate MCs ever. Like, ever. And I mean ever, like, the most intricate. Like, they'll have like a fucking 90 bar verse, like a 3-minute long segment, like it goes in rounds, obviously.
Yeah.
I've watched them. And man, the battle rappers over in this country are just ridiculously good. And fucking hell, man, like, I could only ever dream of being that intricate, man. I've watched them, like, and like, they really, like, every letter of a verse, never mind a fucking word, man. They dedicate themselves to every letter of the verses. But Daly's somewhat kind of like that, because there's sides to Daly, there's layers to him. Like, there's the introspective and very vivid side of himself, where he opens up himself to people, the shit that people need to hear.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Being human. And then there's the side where he's passionate, the passionate side of him, where he writes about the shit that's going on around him in his environment and the fucked up shit and all. And then there's the, like, the real human side of him. And I know that's kind of similar to the first side, but he portrays his human side in a level that most people wouldn't, like, as rappers. Because see, like you said, in rap, there's this, like, majority of the time, there's this bravado.
Yes.
Rap music's very hostile. It's a competitive art form. It's very competitive.
Yes.
Man, cunts want to kill each other verbally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're like, fuck his album, mine's going to be better. And I just, as a human being, I'm just not like that. There's no disrespect to anyone that is, because hip hop's always been a competitive fucking art form, but I just like minding my business and rapping. You know what I mean?
But in a sense, then, like, because Daley's on the ticket, he's on the track, you have to bring your game, though.
Yeah, but that's exactly me.
That's the point.
It's because his standards are so fucking high, and rightfully so. That I was like, yeah, I'm gonna.
That's the same with shooting as well. Like, you're bringing, like, killers onto your track.
I literally said it on my story there the other day, talking about the album. Like, I was like, I love them, but they make me hate them because of how good they are, and I mean that in a loving way. Like, just because of how fucking good the two of them are, I just, like, I do listen to the two of them, and I'm just like, man, I want to stop, like, talking to the two of them for a while. And, like, joking now, but, like, the two of them make me hate them because of how good they are, and I mean that in
a beautiful way. Yeah,
because, man, they, very inspiring, the pair of them. But Daly's my brother, man, and, like, and the last thing I'll say, like, is when I met Daly, man, we just really connected on this brotherly level of understanding each other and shooting the shit about rap music and just talking about life in general. And he was always in my corner giving me advice, man, you know what I mean, and just help me out and trying to support me and encourage me to go to the next level, man. And yeah, man, it was just like, it was weird. It was like what blood brothers, like it literally is like what blood brothers. You know what I mean? And like we might like have very different perspectives from each other. We might think about a lot, and we do. And now, and I mean this in a good way. We do think about a lot of things very differently.
Yes.
We both have two very different perspectives, but the love is there. You know what I mean? And like we're willing to listen to each other.
The love for the art is there. Like it doesn't really matter what ways.
The love for each other is there too. Though it's just kind of like we're friends first and foremost. You know, before anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I had to get him. Like, you know, I had to get him.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one, man.
Dalys verse, like Dalys showed some of his verse on Instagram. It is just, it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. But I feel like just from the little bit that I know him and knowing you, I know that he'd step like Bodie's going to try and step up your game as much as you can. You know what I mean? But out of respect for each other as well. You know what I mean? And for the track. And in terms of just how he is recorded, so when you had to get Student to do his bit, like and
Daly has the first verse in the Spiritless Assassin, so like he's in Germany now, living his life, making music.
Oh, brilliant!
It's fantastic. I'm so happy for him.
Could he send you over? So and then he had
the day before he left for Germany, he recorded his verse for the Spiritless Assassin.
Ah, he's a legend.
Yeah, man, and it was my fault because I thought I sent him the beat in like June.
Oh.
And it was in it. I only sent it to him on WhatsApp, and I sent it to the wrong email.
Oh well.
So I was like,
and so he has his own producer as well, Adam McNamara.
He works with an engineer, Adam McNamara,
who knows his sound and
he knows Daly sound in and fucking out.
Yeah,
we got me and Flobit were listening to Daly's verse. We were like, wow, man, you know what I mean? Like the ad libs were on point. They had certain effects. Adam put certain effects on the ad libs that made it just sound so professional and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Adam is a master at what he does, man. Shout out Adam McNamara, man. But yeah, Daly recorded Love Me Now with Adam McNamara. Or the Forget Me EP. Sorry, excuse me. The whole thing.
It's so good. The production on that is insane.
That's what I mean. Like, you know,
so clean, and polished.
That's like the work they put into that. Holy fuck, like, you know what I mean? And just they're, you know, using live music too. Like I just love me dusty boom back beats. And Daly and the lads and all of the people that involved in that EP were here fucking making sure that every note played and any instrument was immaculate. Like, so I could only imagine the work that goes into that, really, you know. But man, you know, the two of them, amazing.
Yeah, amazing. It's amazing that it's just great to see, like, just being able to like kind of get out, like, because I remember I don't know if you Kanye West album, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, he basically will say Nicki Minaj, like, she had the best album on the best album of all time, like, but you kind of have to get out of your way and just be okay with bringing people on that make you feel like, oh shit, these are really fucking good. Instead of just...
I was thinking of the art itself when I got them on, because I knew that people would enjoy listening to it. See, I wasn't thinking about me, but I was kind of... No, I thought about me writing my shit, and I'm like, okay, I'm happy with that. But like, the main reason I got the two of them, the two main reasons is, one, because I love the two of them and their art, and I knew that the listener would appreciate what they're providing. I'm thinking of the bigger picture. I'm not just thinking of me. Like, I'm a fan first. I always will be. That's why I don't want to be like, you know, the best rapper. You know what I mean? And no disrespect to anyone that does. That's incredible that you have that drive. But me, I'm a fan first, man. Always will be. I know I'm good at what I do, but I'm always thinking...
It doesn't matter that you're not at the top of the food chain.
I don't want to be.
And
I never do, man. I notice, like, people, like, in Irish hip-hop, man, people put up, like, top 10 lists, and then rappers are like, that's a lot of bollocks, and it's very controversial, and they're arguing with each other. I never, ever, I don't give a flying fuck, ever want to be put on a top 10 list in Dublin, Ireland, whatever. I just don't, because I'm a fan first. There's rappers that deserve to be on those lists. The Ireland has fucking absolutely incredible, unbelievable lyricists and rappers, like, you know what I mean? But I am a fan first, always, and I always will be, man. I'm the cunt that is excited for album releases, you know what I mean? I'm the cunt that wakes up on a Friday morning going to work, seeing a new album, a single, or whatever the case is. Not even just Irish hip-hop and hip-hop. I make music for 16-year-old Kaycii, man.
Yeah.
And that's it, like, do you know what I mean? And, like, for me mates and the boys, and that's it, man. So don't ever, and I mean this, if anyone is watching this, don't put me in top 10 fucking lists.
Well, you can't. If they want to make their list, they can make the list.
Personally, they can. Don't put that shit up.
But lists and all, they're all the subjective experiences, and the fact that
the reason I don't want to be putting top 10 lists is, I'm going to tell the truth, is they're just a vessel for controversy and debate.
Oh, yeah.
And you're not going to use me as that vessel.
You're right.
That's just keeping it 100.
You might cause they might cause a fight. Like some rapper might see you on the same list as them, and that might cause bad blood for no reason.
Yeah, exactly. My point. It's literally just a vessel for controversy and debate. That's why I don't like top 10 lists. I don't like if a young fella comes up to me and is like, you're in my top 10 favorite rappers. Jesus, thank you. Fucking all. Not even just a young fella, like anybody. But if you're putting that shit up on the internet, like a lot,
trying to stir a debate.
Truth is, but see, a lot of them do put up them top 10 lists for that reason, because they know it's going to cause debate and controversy. And I'm not the vessel for that, you know.
So see, taste, the culture, the taste of the culture, a personal taste, it just changes over time. Like what we liked in the 20s is not what we like in now. And that's going to change taste.
Could you imagine, right, some fella sitting in his gaff in the 20s, right? Oh yeah, no, this is going to be horribly historically inaccurate.
Yeah.
Cunt doesn't have a light bulb in his gaff. He's lighting up candles, yeah. There's no technology, you know what I mean? He fucking, there's no, I don't know. It's bare bones, man. 1920s, right? And then fucking this young fella comes through. Do you ever watch Bill and Ted? Do you ever watch Bill and Ted?
Yeah.
And the phone box is a fucking time machine. And they have a history project, but they want to be rock stars. And they're going back in time in the fucking phone box, and they come back in time to pass that history project, and they're there with Genghis Khan and fucking Mozart, right? It's a mad film, right? But what I'm saying, they're playing rock and roll and all, and Genghis Khan's there like, oh my god, like what the fuck? You know what I mean? So the point I'm trying to make is, right, could you imagine some poor fella in the 1920s, dealing with all this mad disease and all, everything's mad fucked up and all, and he's in his gaff that's trying not to get blown over by a fucking storm, right, with a candle lighting beside his fucking window pane, and then this young fella time travels, with a fucking Samsung Galaxy 10,000, right, and plays fucking Lil Wayne and auto-tune, bloke would go into cardiac arrest, man.
But that's the thing, we don't like art is even like language changes over time, the technology changes over time. It's such a sign of transient kind of art form. But I do believe, and this is something actually that I wanted to get back into, or just a point that I wanted to make on why you should create art. Rick Rubin has this book, The Creative Act, which I've listened to twice now, and it's just really good for kind of helping me frame my responsibilities as an artist. But one thing is that whatever you do with art, you're actually bringing art forward. You're evolving it. Like no matter what, even if no one ever hears it, like the fact that you're creating it, you're actually you're taking the baton, because basically the only reason you make rap is because you know rap is a thing. In the 1920s, rap didn't exist, so you wouldn't have even known what to make. Like you only made it, but like we can't get away from what we're influenced by. And if I ask you who's your influences, you actually might tell me a story, but that story isn't real, really. Like you don't even know your influences. Like you're influenced by so much that's been unbeknownst to you that it doesn't even make sense to really talk. You can talk about it, but really, when you get down to it, you're just a mesh of different formulations of ideas and
that's a
fact,
and the
culture,
your environment, the behavior around you, the way things operate around
you,
subconsciously influence.
If we made a list, we'd never even finish the list of how many things make us who we are. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so, but just going back then to the album, then so you've broken it up into two parts, I guess, and it feels like it makes sense. Like Hell's Servant, Heaven's Messenger.
Hell's Messenger.
I knew I did that. Yeah. So, was there kind of an artistic reason?
Yes, that actually was, right. So first and foremost, they'll keep it 100.
Back into this.
First and foremost, they'll keep.
You don't have to be too crazy, but it's not over here.
So just pure. But first and foremost, one of the reasons I did that was because was just like if it was a matter of concern of being productive and consistent and punctual with the project, and secondly, Like, and most importantly, I suppose, is we did it for creative reason because Hell's Messenger has 6 tracks. It's a metaphor. I said this before. Look, I'm not a fucking Satanist and I'm not religious and like I'm not really into God. On the album, I do talk about praying and being. If you've seen the album cover, I'm outside church doors. Like,
Yes.
do you know what I mean?
Oh, that's a really good
and
cover,
outside
by the
church
way. Is
doors.
that the cover where you're like, did the eyes and...
Yeah, see that eyes, man. Yeah, I was
Fuck,
saying that
man.
and the other night. Like, do you ever watch wrestling? Sorry to interject. I have to say this. And Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how his fucking eyes haven't melted
How did
out
he
of his
do
head,
that?
but that cunt would never need a brain scan because he's done it so much. Like, he could just be like, if he needed a brain scan, he'd just be able to fucking.
I
am his frontal lobe is at the fucking shrinking because I was doing that the other night and my fucking eyes were killing me.
Oh, man, that's hurting me already.
They were killing me, and the Undertaker does that like all the fucking.
Them wrestlers
did
are
it all
different
the
gravy,
time.
man.
Yeah, yeah. But anyway, sorry, I was just kind of thinking to myself, what's that going to be able to give himself his own brain scan?
Yeah.
He does it so much. You know what I mean? If he has a concussion, he can just like.
Stop, man.
You know what I mean? Just look
But
up.
you got to like it's such a great cover. I didn't know that was. I just thought it was a piece of art.
And took that, edited it, directed it, everything. Fantastic. Brilliant. So, but so we back. I'm sorry, I'm waffling. We split it into 2 pieces because the metaphor of the album Hell's Messenger is 6 tracks. Number the Hell.
Of course.
6.
I bought something the other day, petrol, and it was €66 and 66 cents. I was thinking of it, but anyway.
It's a metaphor, do you know what I mean? And Hell's Messenger is like, the dark part, a dark glimpse of who I am and some glimpses of the hell I went through. And I'm providing you a message from my perspective of who I am, why I'm an angry cunt, and I'm only messing, but I'm providing you a dark glimpse of who I am, what I went through, and why I rap so aggressively, like, do you know what I mean? And Heaven's Servant is 7 tracks, 7 being the number of God.
Why is that?
Why is that?
Is it just, I feel like 7. I feel that in my bones. But,
7, I have to.
There is a real.
I did know, but I'm gonna be honest, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
Yeah,
I read into it. I did read into it before doing it though, so it's not purposely.
I just used to think it rhymes with 7 in heaven.
No. Yeah, but
who knows how I had like anyway.
I can't remember. I think the 7th son. I think I was either.
Oh, the 7th day. I mean, like
7th day, 7th son, and the 7th son, all this and all. So.
I mean, God rested on the 7th.
There you go, stuff like that. Like, so
there you go, do your own research.
Yeah. See, I read into it and stuff, and then I just fucking forgot to be blunt, to be honest with you. But 7 is the number of God, and Heaven's Servant is like.
That's higher than 6, I guess.
Yeah, and but I'll come to the conclusion now in a second.
Yeah.
7, number of God, 7 tracks, and the reason I call it Heaven's Servant is because I said this on the podcast before. I want to show you the light side of myself, that I made it to the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm still here today, and that there's a lot of growth being, like, I made a lot of growth as a man, as a human being, and I talk a lot about that on Heaven's Servant. It's a lot of songwriting on this one, strictly, like, you know what I mean? It's not me going and I'm going mad, like, it's a lot of very introspective music and positive, might I add. Like, there's not, like I said, there's a song on it about me dad called Cracked Pillars on Heaven's Servant, being the pillar that held us up for so long, and me showing how grateful I am for that, and how he educated me and being an upstanding man, being respectful when well-mannered with a high standard of morality, and encouraging me to be who I am today. So that's what I'm saying. Like, that album's about that side of the album is about the growth and stuff, So, but in total, it's 13 tracks.
Yes.
13, number 13. Do you know what I mean?
I like
number 13, like Friday the 13th.
6 and 7 is 13. That is very interesting.
Yeah,
I have 13 on my album as well. I like that. Yeah.
So I thought that, like, 13, Friday the 13th. It's just there's a lot of mad symbolism behind it. But yeah, there was a creative reason for it though. Do you know what I mean? Just kind of add more to the art of it and the concept, I suppose, you know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah. I think the layers of sort of concepts or meaning, the more we can kind of tie up into it, just the grander it is. Because it's, to say, like, biblical is the wrong word, because it's not really, I'm not saying that, like, the album is biblical, but the fact that you're your existence in this world and you're creating this, like to give it, like the more you can kind of tie into it, the grander it is, because it is actually as grand as anything that ever was, because you're something that will never be once you're gone, in a way. And
Yeah.
that's how beautiful and how special and how important this creation actually is. And that goes for all of us. I'm not just saying for you, but for every one of us. And it's brilliant how because religious language is the most powerful language in terms of creating that reverence. It's the reason.
See,
Sorry, go ahead.
So I'm sorry. I just want to interject real quick. I know, like, I just like using like the likes of mythology and religious symbolism as a metaphor, because like it's simple. It's kind of an easy concept to grasp, like, you know what I mean? Because we've all been through hell some point in our lives, as I said before. But the reason I said Hell's Messenger was because there was a point in time where I was a bit of an evil cunt myself. Like, now I'd say evil's a bit of a. I wasn't an evil cunt now, but I was a bad person. I did bad things, like, you know, and I wasn't conscious of how it made people feel, and, you know, I wasn't conscious of the consequences it could have, and, you know, I didn't know the difference between right or wrong at a point in my life when I was younger, more naive and very ignorant. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. Hell's Messenger is a representation of that also. Like, do you know what I mean? I talk about that in Humble Beginners 3, like, you know, just briefly, but I talk about it, like, you know, it was a point in my life where I wasn't the best person to be around, like, do you know what I mean? And I wasn't a good friend, you know what I mean? So, and then Heaven's Servant is me becoming the angel.
The redemption,
listening to the angel on my shoulder, the redemption, do you know what I mean? I'm trying to become like that fucker whispering in my ear, telling me to do good things, like, you know what I mean? That's, you know, that's what that's kind of about. And it's also, like I said, getting to the light at the end of the tunnel. Heaven is light, hell is dark and hot, like, do you know what I mean? So that's the thing, like, and
both realities exist existed for you as well. So
that's exactly the point I'm trying to project there. And it's just religious kind of symbolism is a great way to project that.
There's
idea.
No greater way to, like, if you didn't have concepts like hell or heaven, there's, like, to describe these high level concepts without them terms, you will never get to the root of it. Like, and the same with, like, holiness and faith and all the religious terminology. It's hard for me to explain this, but the religion is, like, it speaks to our sort of highest, like, spiritual dimension as humans, in a way, and the language that's used is so powerful, because we would use the most powerful language when speaking in religious terms. So it's like, it's self-evident that them words are the most sort of visceral or powerful, they allow you to, like, concepts like God look such a power, like, whatever that means to anybody, regardless of you're religious or not. You know, when someone says that, like, there's a meaning or something, like, in a way, and it transcends. It means that you don't have to explain loads of stuff. You know,
that's exactly my point. And, like, you'll hear it on Hell's Messenger, like, there is somewhat, like, of a theme, like, evidently hell, but it's not just that. Like, listening to it, the lyrics, like, you'll hear that, like, then this really happened. You'll hear that on Humble Beginners trains. So I remember this was 2018, early 2019. I actually went to the church and prayed for the first time in maybe fucking since I was 12 on my confirmation. I was only praying on my confirmation because I was getting money.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You're 12, man. You're 12. Like, you fucking don't give a fuck. I'm getting an Xbox now next week. You know what I mean? Fucking confirmation. I believe in God. Fucking holy bread. Why is there a serial number on it? Looks like cardboard. Doesn't matter.
What is there a serial number on it?
Man,
I didn't even think about
that. On my confirmation, I got handed a piece of holy bread with a serial number on it. I was like, what, is God a robot? I don't want to eat that.
3758.
There's a fucking serial number on it. The body of Christ. What was he, the Terminator?
That's so funny.
Do you know what I mean? What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Anyway.
Get rid of the serial numbers.
There was a fucking, seriously, a little serial number on me, holy bread.
Anyway.
Eating cardboard. What was he? A cardboard Terminator? I don't know. But anyway, yeah. But on a serious note, though, I'm a fucking dickhead. Wait, I went to late 2018, early 2019. I went to the church for the first time to pray in a long time, because it was so, you know, like, I was going through a lot at the time, as I keep on saying, but I really looked at a boss man upstairs. Now, again, I'm not religious. I'm not. And that's all I'll say. I'm not going to dwell into that, but I'm not religious. But I did pray to the boss man upstairs, and I was a bit like, yeah, you're going to have to fucking help me out because I'm fucked, like, do you know what I mean? And you'll hear that, like, kind of on intros and outros and on the yoke. So, well, on 2 songs. But, yeah, like, even Crumlin's Prayer,
Yeah.
that's somewhat of about, like.
With things like prayer, and I think when people say they're not religious, like they're not in the traditional sense of like the Christian sort of, but it's hard to not live in a story as a human, witnessing hell and heaven, realizing that there's so much out of your control. Like at some level, prayer is a way of trying to plead with reality to say, okay, I know you can do whatever you want with me, but like if you can just make it all right, like
That's literally what I was doing.
And prayer is like a question to yourself, like we were saying. If you ask yourself, Jordan Peterson talks about this. If you just ask yourself, okay, what am I doing wrong with my life? You'll get an answer. Everyone will get an answer, and that is like the function of prayer. I think it's more practical than people think. Not that I will always kind of question myself and go deep, but it's kind of like prayer in a way, because I want to know where I'm going wrong and what I could do better and how I could have prevented certain things from happening. Well,
and the thing is as well, it's faith, isn't it? That's the whole. I think that's the whole foundation and basis of religion is faith.
Yes.
Faith. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
faith,
you have like faith. If like faith is such a beautiful thing, because you to let's say with Anne, like, but when you get in a partnership with somebody, you have to have faith. You're putting all your faith in your relationship, and like even if like you get egg thrown in your face or whatever, like, oh yeah, they cheated on you, whatever. Like you're putting so much. You're like, I have faith, even though I don't know. I could never know 100% that this will work out. I am putting my faith in it that it will, and you have to go into relationships with that faith.
That's the beautiful part of it, because if you want to keep it 100 with you, like, that's the beautiful part of love, man.
Yes.
Yeah, and love in general, love for your folks, love for your, younger siblings, cousins, and love for your partner. And that, obviously, like, that love is different.
Yes,
you know what I mean? It is. And that's the beautiful part of love, is the fact that it provides you, one, with faith, and two, an opportunity to make that faith last long. That is a beautiful thing, man. It really is. 100%. Like, I mean, look, man, I keep it 100, like, before we met Anne, like, I didn't really give a fuck about nothing. Just truth be told, didn't really give a fuck about nothing. I in the gaff all day, cups of teas and rollies, you know what I mean, and doing nothing with myself. Like, I'm not saying, like, what I mean is, like, I wasn't even going out for walks or nothing at this point in time. I was just being pure lazy, procrastinating, and just wallowing in self-pity, man. And that's the beautiful thing about that love, is it provides you with purpose. So why wouldn't you have faith in it? You know what I mean? And I suppose, look, obviously we can get
cynical people.
Yeah, we can get into the politics of it and all, but
I think it's better to live a life like I'm inherently optimistic in sort of, and that can come back. It does come back to bite you, but you have to be willing to put yourself on the chopping block. Obviously, not be naive and let people take advantage of it, but we've all been hurt, and we're all going to be hurt potentially in our future. So when we take another relationship or someone on and we put faith in it, we do that in spite of even like our bet. Like, oh, but there's someone that would say, oh, but remember what happened last time? Remember that? Or remember you did this or whatever, anything else? But you're just saying, I'm still, in the face of all that, gonna put faith into this, and I think it's a beautiful way to live in a way.
Because it won't last without faith, though. That's what people need to remember. That's the whole point of it, man. That's why, like, that's exactly what I was trying to get to there, is that, like, I understand people are skeptical, understandably so, man. People have been so hurt before, and I won't, like,
I know.
I'm not gonna even speak on behalf, but that spectrum is so broad, like, and I understand it's not even just with relationships or partnerships, it's just in general, man. I know a lot of people who unfortunately have a brick wall built up when they're out socialising, you know what I mean? And understand, I'm guilty. I'm very guilty. Unfortunately, it's a tendency I have when I meet new people to be like, who's this cunt? What's he doing? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm trying, I try every day to walk on. I know it's who's this cunt? What's he fucking doing?
No, but you're right, yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm very pessimistic at the start, and I'm trying to work on that, But that's a defense. That's a defense mechanism. You know what I mean? So I understand. But I ironically enough have, like, I know people that have been fucked over by so many people with different walks of life for different reasons. Not that any reason is good to fuck off at anybody. It's just not, because if you have morals, you know what's right and wrong, you have integrity, you wouldn't like, you know, take advantage of somebody. But the thing is that we know people that have literally for majority of their lives, everyone in their life, like 98% of the people in their life have taken advantage of them and fucked them over, yet they still are optimistic, kind, and have faith in meeting new people. Because I think that's just the reason they have faith, is because they know that if they let go of that, they lose the opportunity to meet that friend or meet
or have a
the
better
love of their
life.
life, or to meet that person that they can, that it's that faith is like, that's who it's for, do you know what I mean? And then they might lose out on that opportunity to place that faith in the sun. So if you don't have faith, man, you, as hard as it is to have after being hurt,
I know, and that, like you're
you
saying,
need
there's a spectrum, and it's obviously easier said than done. But if you do lose that, then you become cynical, and you just think the world, like, and you only have this one life. That's the thing. How can we have the best experience that we can possibly? And I think suffering is something that we can all understand, and there's different ways we suffer. And I mean, if I hurt you and you like it, then you're not suffering. But like, so there's many ways to suffer, but I think a life that has as little suffering as possible is what we should aim for. And I just want to take it now then to our sort of so, and also you just mentioned as well, and I love the fact that you've done this album, because I read that there was announcements that you never committed to.
Yeah.
And we all do that. And like,
but I did too many of them.
Yeah.
Like I was when me to bring it back to me and Rightwell start busking, we start making a bit of a name for ourselves, and you know, there was quite a few people paying attention, which was fantastic, you know what I mean? And 2020, late 2019, 2020, I just start getting really fucking anxious, because I started getting really insecure. And I think the reason for that was because I wasn't busking anymore. I started going to college. Do you know what I mean? I started, and like, I wasn't doing what I loved every single day. Like, I was going to college and just, you know what I mean? I was taking out my element of it and brought out my comfort zone, and I wasn't keeping my pen sharp. See, when I was busking, I had not that I don't have a reason, I always have a reason to write, but busking was the main motivation for me writing at the time. So I was always writing and keeping my pen sharp and writing really good stuff. Like, do you know what I mean? Keeping the blade not dull. And I started getting really insecure about the way I was portraying myself lyrically and artistically, and just I started hearing all this amazing art, and I start getting stuck deep in my fucking head. You know, sometimes your mind can play tricks on you and be your own worst enemy, and I was letting that happen too much. So I started like writing tunes, like, do you know what I mean? And then I was like, I have to release that. And the only reason I'd make the announcement is because I'd have to do it then.
Yeah.
Throw me fucking self in the deep end. I'm at telling all these people now I'm going to release it, and I just
hold you accountable.
Yeah, and I didn't. And the reason being, and there's no good enough excuse. I was just fucking shitting myself, man. And I always felt like that what I was going to release was never good enough. So I made like so many announcements, like singles, you know, and stuff, and just fucked it all up, like, because I just let me head get the best of me, like, do you know what I mean? And that's the thing, like, I know for a fact that, like, there was people who were interested in me music that aren't now, and understandably so, because I wasn't providing art, you know what I mean?
And broke the trust, like,
broke the trust, like, you know what I mean? And this is kind of to, you know, not make up for it, but kind of, this is a beautiful start now, because once Heaven's Servant comes out, man, like, after this, it's full steam ahead, man. I'm in that studio every week now, like, do you know what I mean? And I mean that, like, because I want to do it now.
Yeah.
I want to do it. Like, I want to fucking have the hip hop heads listen and be like, oh my God, man, how the fuck did he do that? That's what I'm saying. I want to provide the feeling that I had when I was 16, man.
That's all we're trying to do, I think, with creatives. Like, the only metric we have is how other art has made us feel. And I think that's kind of what we go, when you feel like, I wrote a great song, and it's giving you that feeling that you would have got elsewhere, I think. So that's all we can kind of listen to, in a way, that kind of energy. But then I suppose so, and you've shown yourself that you can do this in a way, then like, what is next? I know it's just a stupid thing to ask when you've so much still to release now, but it's such an obvious question. You know what I mean?
So first thing is Heaven's Servant, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
Just part out to this. So,
well, Hell's Master as well. first.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I haven't even released that yet.
I haven't released it. So
But that's why
Hell's
I didn't want to ask, like, but you know what I mean.
Hell's Messenger is coming out on October 30th on all streaming platforms, and I'm just so relieved to have it done.
Yeah.
I feel good.
The weight off your shoulder, man.
Big weight, man. It took me 5 years. Like, you know, again, I just want to clarify that this is an album. We just split it into 2 parts, and the second part's coming out in November. But Hell's Messenger, which is the first part, like, it took me 5 years, man. 5 years. Like, I dedicated 5 years of my life through the ups and downs, through the tribulations and the obstacles and the potholes and the sweat and tears.
The other side.
Yeah, the sweat and tears, man. Like 5 years, man, of just everything. Like, you know what I mean? The journey, and I loved every single second of it, which is mad to think because it was doing me fucking nothing. But every second of it, man, was just worth it, and I'm here now. And I just really, really hope people enjoy it and take something from it. And then secondly, next month is Heaven's Servant, which is the rest of the album. And I'm excited for people to hear that, to be honest. And the reason being is because it's the most introspective I've ever been. It's the most personal I've ever been, in a way. And it's positive, actually. And I've never written positive before. Like, do you know what I mean? So I'm excited. It's not mad cringy on nothing. Now, it's not positive being like, oh, I'm happy. It's positive as in, like, you know, if you know, someone listens to it, I firmly believe that they're definitely going to take something from it in regards to, you know, I think it might change their perspective a little. Like, if you get someone that's like, I used to be very pessimistic and negative all the time, constantly. Like, I think if someone who's unfortunately stuck in a rut, you know, fucked up in the head, mental health's declining, if they listen to it, I firmly believe they'll find some sort of little bit of purpose in there. I hope that's the point of it. I hope, you know, and it's to show how grateful I am to be here. And then after that, once that's released, I'm going back to just fucking lyrical mayhem, like just releasing some mad shit. Like, I'm gonna try. I'm not gonna. Actions speak louder than words. Of
course, yeah.
So I'm not gonna say when, is, and what.
So,
you know,
maybe a better question then is, where are you then as sort of in terms of as an artist? So you've like you're releasing sort of these 2 sort of contrasting but connected kind of like parts of who you are.
Yeah.
Like, where are you now with the next work that you're willing to create? Like, you're saying that is it more focused on the like the actual?
It's just, it's trying to, it's more focused on, like, you know, lyricism and stuff. But the reason being is because I love it so much, and, like, you know, that's kind of what I'm known for.
Yeah.
I'm respected for, like, by me peers and people that listen, like, you know what I mean? And I just want to be able to have fun with it again. Not that this wasn't fun, it was just very challenging. You know what I mean? But I want to go back now. After Heaven's Servant, I'm kind of going to go full steam ahead with making the music that I truly enjoy making. So the reason I enjoyed getting this done so much was because of how much of a challenge it was. I think you should challenge yourself as an artist every now and then. And I kind of wanted to come out the gate with showing you who I am first before I kind of... Kind of just start getting into, like, you know,
you have to introduce yourself.
Exactly. I wanted to introduce myself before I start kind of just going into, like, the fun side of it, like the old underground boombox shit where I'm talking about, like, fucking, you know, mad shit. Like, what was it? I'll even just, like, I wrote this the other day. Like, hold on.
World exclusive.
This isn't even on that, and this is just like I have mad serious tracks and all. And then
a few scribbles.
Yeah, a few scribbles, and then I have to find them, man, because I've actually been writing quite a lot now. And
that's brilliant. I love hearing that.
Like, just having fun, man. Like, you know what I mean? My phone's fucked. But it's like, away I'm missing teeth and a necklace. That's what the pliers for. Hold on. Away I'm missing teeth and a necklace. That's what the pliers for. Accolades to display the demons and angels in me head that are fighting wars. Of late dormant and hypnotized, studying the calligraphy that Sumerians would write on walls. Meanwhile, while letting all these yuppie cunts and suits devoid us all. Listening to Tupac, I wonder where the models and voices are. Where the models and voices gone. Hear the sound of clocks echoing in the corridors of me heart. A hunter reminder that you're a fool if you think our time is long. See, that's just not, like, there's not. I love writing shit like that.
Heart, man. That's so intense.
I like writing shit like that. Like there's no concept. It's just lyricism.
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, just
So
for the fun of it. Just trying
after,
to string concepts together.
yeah, like here, hold on. I have like I want to just because I like writing some stupid shit, like stupid. Like that's what Ployer's teeth and all stupid
It's
shit
just,
like
but
that.
it's just fun. Yeah.
Where is it? I had something here. Oh yeah. Suicide's a risky move. Me ma raised me a Catholic, but a dream of the rest that death provides the soul. It feels immaculate. Is it angels or demonic forces that just stand there with? Cause I provide gems for boats, spewing rubies and amethysts. I break your skull open like a coconut and drink your fluids, even if the hatchet's thick. Hold your soul for hostage and laugh at the fact that your family can't even amount to what the ransom is. Being. See what I mean?
That is good, man.
Here, listen, being hell-bound and God sent, well, it has its advantages. When it comes to failure or lack of glory, that's when I'm adamant. Heart's been pierced and broken so many times, it's built calluses. I'd mix a load of benzodiazepines and cannabis. Devil's bit with restlessness, depression hits him staggering. Is life God's metaphor? Then why isn't the bastard answering? No problem's too hard to face. We need to know where the bastard is. Why create this existence and douse it in fucking heartlessness? You mean to tell me that the God's particle had started this ball of shy, full of fraudulence and people that are armored with evil within, corruption, lack of morals and values that they're willing to barter with, their souls for fusing clicks and clothes and sniff? It's like Baphomet was the one they bargained with. See, I love writing shit like that. It's just random, sporadic thoughts and words and everything. I'm a lyricist, man, you know what I mean? So after Heaven's Servant, that's the type of shit I'm gonna be doing. Just having fun with it, man. Just a load of tracks full of punchline metaphors and the odd personal track here and
There's
there.
so many aspects to the whole thing. But do you feel like you're able to just write at any point?
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
That's why this took so long though, because I can't songwrite at any point.
Yes.
I can write, man. I could write 1,000 bar verse today.
Yeah.
No, obviously.
Just basing it on like lyricism and mechanics and
metaphors and
punchlines,
metaphors
and connecting like God particle, like just like mentioning just the way we.
I need to know where the bastard is. You mean to tell me that the God's particle had started this?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Started this bastard is.
Yeah. So there's all that.
Simple. That's simple, like But
there's some. Yeah, it just the rabbit hole goes so deep with that stuff. Honestly, because I think with songwriting, it's all for me. Like melody is first and foremost, and like just trying to like sing the melody. But for you, it's like it just feels mechanical in a way, like as in you're like going to work on a car or something, and like you're putting it together.
It's all pieces, man. It's all these important little essential pieces you have to add together to fix the puzzle. Do you know what I mean? But like the reason,
I feel like you're speaking in rap, like boom, 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 boom. You're in the mode now.
Man, fuck's sake! Like even when I talk, I'm like rapping like unintentionally.
Yeah, of course.
But one thing I said in the last podcast is that I was always writing songs with no choruses, like, and they weren't really songs; they're just joined verses.
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to say to people. So these are like, I'm not gonna lie, the Hell's Messenger, like that. There's concepts behind the music, like, you know what I mean. There's topics there's topics like the Reaper Shadow is lyricism. It's fun, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But the rest of them, I'm roll with the all I got to was just lyricism and fun. But Pan's Labyrinth, Crumlin's Prayer, Humble Beginnings 3, is like they're concepts and thoughts and introspective shit that I never did before. And Heaven's Servant is really where like you're gonna get like choruses, probably a couple of bridges and songs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's going to be a few skits at the end of tunes. You know what I mean? A
Class.
few poems by a few guests.
Yeah.
I'll reveal the guests at a later date.
Yeah, of course.
Messenger.
To keep some surprises.
Yeah, I have to keep some surprises. But yeah, man.
That's
so
cool, man.
I didn't want to just be one dimensional for so long, but now I'm going to go back to just being one dimensional for fun.
Yeah.
After them two come out, and then we'll see what happens, man. I just want to. Honestly, I do it for love and respect. You know what I mean? And I just hope I can get that. And God forbid, I'm not even gonna say it, but yourself, man.
Yeah.
Just legacy, legacy, man. You know what I mean? I want to be able to write stuff that the artists can respect and appreciate, and that the you know, just the heads that just love listening to shit can appreciate it, you know.
I think a good way to summarize, because I was thinking about like in terms of what. Imagine you could watch the tape of your whole life. Could you watch that back and feel good about it, or be able to live with yourself and the life that you lived? I think that's a good measuring stick to sort of
exactly what
aim
it is.
towards, in a way. Like, would you be would you look back at that tape and say, "Fair play, all right, that's good. Like, you did well." Like, and like doing well is subject. Like, it's not about. It's what we do with our experience, because basically we're playing sort of like the Kaycii video game, like the Basil Breen video game, and I need to make the most out of what I got with this game, in a way, and that's all we could do, man. And yeah, no, I'm really excited to hear this, and I'm delighted that there's more on the horizon, that you found this sort of new sort of respect, or this new perspective on the creation process. Like, you're gonna keep creating now.
Oh,
now that you've shown yourself that you can do it.
Yeah. Definitely, man.
And yeah, I mean, it's maybe one question I'd finish off with is so if the aliens came down, what would you ask the aliens, man, if you had one question and they could answer anything?
What's your problem?
What's your problem, bro? Look at this cunt coming over here.
Where you coming? I mean, E.T. wasn't real, you cunt. It's a film. Fuck off, like, you know what I mean? You're not gonna find them here. Go to Universal Studios, you'd find them there. No, but
stop poking holes in me, son.
Yeah. But if the aliens came down, what would you ask them? Wow, man. Who made this? I don't know. Maybe they'd know that. Who made all this? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who made all of this? And, you know, how was it made? Do you know what I mean? That's
the most fundamental.
Yeah, I'd want to know that, man. Because,
I know.
Like, not to be mad, like, you know, fucking preachy or, you know, metaphorical and all. But sometimes when out straight, like, sometimes I'd be out on, like, floats around Crumlin. You know, I love walking around Crumlin, like, late. And, you know, nice cold air, coffee, just thinking, you know, reminiscing and just reflecting a lot, like, you know what I mean? But I do, like, look around and be like, look at all this, like, you know what I mean? Like, because I love, like, observing nature, like, you know what I mean? I think it's very healthy for your mental health to do so, to be with nature and to observe it. It's a beautiful thing. It's unexplainable, really. It really is. But that's the thing. It's so, like, who made that?
Yeah.
What made that? How was that
what
made?
Is
and
it?
I know, like, you know, obviously there's fucking, you know, science and stuff like that. But what causes us to have such an immense attachment with that stuff, and why does it make us feel good? And yeah, I suppose that's what I'd ask them.
We'd ask them a few questions, but there is that sense of just what is going on? What is this thing we call life? And it's just it really is a miracle, and I'm glad we got to record in this virtual space once again. Hopefully, what day is it today now?
Saturday.
Is it the
21st?
When would it? Well, I mean, would this be good to go out before the release?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
That's great.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, 100%.
All right. Well, then we'll get it. We'll get it on the go.
Definitely.
Geez, it won't be that long to edit. This is great, but yeah, I get anything closing or.
Yeah, if we could just have a couple of minutes to say, shout out to Darren Dunn, Kenneth Dignam, Curtis, Stiggy Rhino, Student, Daly. I really don't want to leave people out. This is very important. Thank you. So I'm such me brain Florby, of course. You know, love me life, and shout out to just everyone, man. You know what I mean? Everyone who does be at circles and stuff, everyone at the open mics, and shout out to everyone supporting, man. I literally only put the album cover up yesterday, 10 days before the album comes out, like, and just put, you know, and like the support that has been shown in the last 24 hours has just been crazy, man. Yeah. And I suppose the last thing I'd say before I fuck off is make sure you look after yourselves and look after each other. Times are tough. You know what I mean? And the reality of it is they're only gonna get harder. But as long as we have each other, we respect ourselves, we stay close to our families and our loved ones and our best friends, and we walk this earth with a high regard of morality and standards for ourselves, we'll do just fine. Do you know what I mean? Love each other, support your local artists, support the boys. You know what I mean? Make sure, like, if you know what I mean, your mates are doing poetry, releasing music, doing podcasts, and releasing albums like Basil, you know what I mean? And whatever they're doing, trying to open up a business, they're a fucking barber. I don't know. Just make sure you support them and show love, man, because life is way too short to be filled with hatred and resentment and envy, like, you know what I mean? Don't be envious, be inspired, and don't be filled with hatred, man, because, you know, you're better than that, you know what I mean? I suppose that's what I'd say. And, you know, keep the head up.
Brilliant. Well, I won't even try top that anyway. Thank you so much.
Thank
really
you for
appreciate it,
having me, man.
No
I enjoyed
worries.
shooting the shit,
No,
man.
you're the best guest,
You
man.
too, man. Best
but-
host.
Yeah. Well, look.
Hosted the most.
Yeah, we'll
How's
catch
it all?
you.
Fucking little Aztec frogs.
We got Frog. We got
Little
anyway.
fucking-
We got at the line. We got this here as well.
And this. Oh, man.
All right.
Anyway.
We'll catch you in the next one.